Hello, lovely people out there in internet land of the cybersphere. Welcome to Black Winter Nights, one of the beautiful D&D games on the D20 multiverse. Myself, Oliver, Dungeon Master, welcomes you as we beam out of Wellington, New Zealand. My players, the Black Winter Knights, are all here, and we're about to commence. But first, we have some announcements, which we would love to tell you about. We just hit 50 subscribers on YouTube. Woo! Yeah, that's pretty good. And to celebrate, we are now streaming live on YouTube as well as Twitch. So you guys can out there watch us do our thing on the old YouTube. And to answer my mum's question the other day, no, you don't have to pay for YouTube, Mum. It's a free service. We also now...
but if you have YouTube Red,
yeah,
go to our channel and watch stuff because that gives us money.
Yeah, if you have YouTube Red, check us out, because that's money in our pockets for battle cams and hookers. Other thing we have... another thing to celebrate today that we've created is our Facebook page, the D20 Multiverse, so you can keep up with all the D20 Multiverse shenanigans on there as well. Of course, we're on Twitter, at the D20verse, so you can tweet at us and tell us about your lives, because we want to know. I want to know. Don't forget to check out NPCs of Kaldore, which is myself and Dave's show reviewing Critical Role. We review and recap each week in case you missed one. If you're watching this and you love D&D and you've never seen Critical Role, go check that out, but not until this stream is finished. And those are the announcements that I was more than happy to announce, because that's wonderful, you lovely people out there. Thank you so much to everyone that subscribed and donated and followed us and gave us messages, because it makes us feel loved. Now, as for the Black Winter Knights, the party travelled south under Thrummond's command to find and infiltrate, discover anything they could about Lord Nyath, the demon-like entity that was sweeping the coasts of Ukast. Upon entering Nyath's castle, under the lead of Arkyan, a lone wanderer who seemingly wanted to help the party destroy Lord Nyath. However, when they arrived, they realised that Arkyan was actually working for Nyath the entire time, brought them into his lair, and battle commenced. The party, after blow after blow after blow on Lord Nyath and spells and arcane and interesting decisions, Lord Nyath, in a fit of despair and panic, activated the Chaos Orb, which sent the party 100 years into the past, back to the Iron War. The party then found some linear time collapse and essentially got stuck in some kind of acid trip as they tried to figure their way back. However, last week, the party returned through the use of void magic and returned to Nyath's castle, right where they left off, seconds after. Nyath seemingly unnoticed, the party recommenced battle. Nyath, the Force, the human wishing to become a demon, was slain. They then kind of discussed looting everything, as is typical Black Winter Night style, but eventually left. Arkyan, upon leaving, had said to the followers of Lord Nyath, "Your leader has been killed, disband." And after a couple of persuasion rolls, they did. Lord Nyath's forces dissipated and went back into the night, having some of them gone back into the castle to take plates and cutleries and whatnot. However, there was a beacon that had been set off, a beam of light that came out of Nyath's castle, and the party's not too sure what that means, but the party finds themselves now wandering north along the west coast of Ukast in the dead of night, blinking twilights and star frequencies shining down upon you, the sounds of the forest not too far, as Black Winter Forest just over on the horizon. And you can see behind you guys, as you turn back, the huge steps leading up to the castle Nyath had built around the rift of the Nine Hells, now seeming a somewhat distant memory. And that's where we begin tonight. The party wandering through the silence of the darkness. What are you guys doing?
I want to talk to you, actually. Something's been bothering me since we left this place. You're fairly confident we closed that rift, because I wasn't sure how...
Yeah, did we ever actually stay behind and watch it close?
The rift waxes and wanes, we were told. It seems to be waning, but I think we should return.
Because you scared that thing away, that guy shot himself. But then we all kind of did the same and gapped it, and I can't remember if anybody saw it close or not.
Yeah, the demon army was approaching, but we've disbanded them, so perhaps it would be safe to return.
Yeah, well, there was a beacon, so something's coming. Because you said it was... You said it's how he summons other people.
Yeah, apparently it's how he sends out like a message of distress to all his outlying forces. But I'm not too sure if those are the forces that we disbanded or if there's other groups coming for him. On the other side, do we have views for our castle?
Oh!
The party clicks to the fact that, oh, hang on, that entire castle is now empty.
Yeah.
It's full of thousands of corpses, but
Well,
practically empty.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure every castle has been at some point, right?
Alright, how are we going to keep it?
Hmm?
What's the point in taking it if we can't keep it?
A lot of money in real estate.
Okay, so we could rent it out?
as you guys are having this discussion, a couple of Nyath's men come past, bundles of tapestries and shoes and some breastplates, kind of like, hello? They just kind of wander
It's
past.
too late to loot it.
Grab one and ask them.
You there?
No! No!
How long ago did you leave the castle?
Not long!
Not long? Oh, we're still pretty close to it?
Yeah, just
Oh, okay.
finding a cart.
Did you perhaps notice a giant demonic rift in the basement when you were there?
Oh, the purple fire!
Yeah.
Ugh.
Is that
Was there purple fire before?
everywhere when the rift was open in the room we were in, there's people fly all over the place? Has that gone? Are there any demons left when you left?
Devon! What? That big fucking rift! Is that still there? Yes, it was when we left.
Oh.
It was when we
Oh,
left.
damn it.
They left the rift on.
Does anyone need a breastplate? I'm selling it quite cheap.
Made out of metal?
Ding ding. Yeah.
Damn it. No.
I mean, no.
I'm all in!
Very shiny leather.
Continue on your way. We're not interested in any of your goods.
All right.
I get faint and extremely confused though.
They disappear. They
Who are you
disappear.
and what have you done with my fate?
Yeah.
A flock of birds fly overhead.
Are we going to go back to the castle and check this out?
Well-
or are we going to report into Stormforce and they can check it out?
If we're still really, really close, we may as well.
Yeah.
Better to know.
They're not a gigantic demon lord crawling out, and that was part of the reason we left.
This guy spanned his eye. And
They ran away.
Yeah.
Oh, we watched them fall back down into the house. I think.
It took him seconds to crawl up. I'm not so...
See, I've tried bleeding on it, and now I'm all out of options.
Well,
Maybe more blood is the key.
Halo, give us some guidance and...
I can pray and see if Halo has an opinion on what if we should go and fuck around with the roof some more.
Alright, roll religion. Let's have a look.
That is a 22.
Cool. So Gorstag takes a second, looks up at the sky, realizes it's night. Okay, well, not exactly prime time for contact with Hello. He might be asleep, but at least the phone will be near the bed. And essentially, his eyes going that very familiar kind of white as he drifts further away from reality than any dare to imagine. And after a long time of the wisp of your tendrils of being reaching out to the cosmos and the celestial kingdoms, you eventually find purchase and pull yourself through that veil of reality. However, instead of seeing the golden light of Pelor haloed around a certain person or path, you stand, in fact, in front of his kingdom, his gleaming white and silver doors open before you. The ground itself seems to be made of some kind of glowing sand, some kind of light emitting from everything. Everything hums at a frequency. The stairs, you can see, almost look like light beams slowed down long enough to be able to stand on. They lead upwards to the Temple of Pelor.
I'll follow them up.
Cool. With each step, you're kind of not blinded, but actually almost pleasantly tickled by the bright shimmerings from each of these light beams. They kind of resonate through your being as you climb up these stairs. After a while, you get to the top, and the room itself that adorns behind those walls is made of gems and crafted silvers and ores and metals and minerals and tapestries and colours and lights and spectrals and wonderful adornments of armours and statues. The roof itself is a drawing of the position of the sun and the stars, especially the sun. It kind of adores the centre of this room, and it seems to be glowing with some kind of haloed light, although the place seems to be made of light. And as you step forward, you see King Pelor, essentially one of the first kings in his golden and white armors, full plate, probably a couple inches thick around his arms. He stands as he does light scatters from his feet.
I'll drop to my knees reverentially.
Cool. Immediately, Gorstag falls to one knee and puts his hand across his chest in standard Palor fashion. And Palor beams. Do I get experience points for jokes? I feel like I
You should.
do. Okay, alright.
I thought you said puns were very little.
I don't think anyone would actually really have a problem if you gave them out instead to celebrate.
Right. Ah, yes, Palor. Hang on. Palor stands and takes a few steps down from his throne, puts a hand on your shoulder, and the hand itself is warm and tingles. You notice that there's light beams emanating from between his fingers as your armor starts glowing brightly, intensely so. You look down at the plates on your hands, and the plates, they're all kind of adorned with this kind of celestial pattern. The rivers of the universe, essentially. Channels of light throughout the multiverses is now imprinted on your armor. As you look up, you see Palor's face. Golden irises, long flowing golden hair. And he goes, good. Well done. And he puts out his hand.
I'll reach out and grasp it.
As soon as you do, you feel something materialize in his hand. And as you pull your hand away, you guys now see Gore back into your existence with an amulet dangling from his hand.
I reach out for the amulet.
Ooh,
No,
pretty. So what did Mr. P tell you?
Nothing directly. He did give me a magical amulet, but I don't see how it effectively. It's not necessarily directly related to the rift problem, unfortunately.
What does it do?
Ways?
It allows me to summon the power of the winds.
Okay. Well, that's enigmatic and not helpful at all.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have a direct thing, but
I guess he does move in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm.
I like your suggestion of going on to the king and making him deal with that.
I think in any case we'd need a stronger force, right?
Yeah,
if there's something
Yeah,
really
If
big
there's something
coming
there, we
out
need
of
something
it.
else to do with it.
So wind magic doesn't sound like Palor's gift. Are you sure this isn't a demon trinket?
well, as sure as I can.
You've been fooled by
Yeah,
visions
I've
of
been
Palor
pretty adamant
before.
about whether or not things have been Palor.
No, we haven't been fooled by Palor. It was Palor!
Your faith is just so strong and reassuring.
Another flock of birds flies overhead.
Seeing as your original mission was to simply scout out Lord Nyath and see who he was, I think that your mission is perhaps more than complete
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
in like every conceivable way.
What direction are these birds going in?
West.
How far away are they from us?
Well, now they're disappearing towards the horizon.
Right.
So that's
Um,
out over the ocean.
Yeah,
Can I just watch them and try and actually check to see if there's anything untoward or odd going on about
you
it?
sure can.
How far away from
Right.
Blackwinter are we?
Oh.
You're about a day and a half.
I'm just going to quickly divine sense that amulet and see if it's consecrated or desecrated.
Sure. Is that a ritual cast?
It's one of my class features.
Sorry, I'm just trying to
a
organise
standard.
these, but yeah.
It's a standard and it's not a spell.
Okay. Yeah. So immediately, as you focus on this thing, it glints. The silvers and stuff are very rich, very deep in this amulet. And the craftsmanship is fine. You'd guess elven, but anciently so, beautifully well. The likes of which you've not seen the craftsmanship at this level before, and it glints in your hand. And yes, it is charged with divine energy,
Okay.
not just of the light of Palor, but of the celestial kingdoms itself.
Alright. Anything else consecrated or desecrated in 60 feet of me within line of sight?
Damn it. Yeah. Okay. Focusing on this amulet, you get the sense that this is a powerful gift.
Yep.
And as your beacon kind of beep, beep around, you feel that there's quite a lot of evilness coming from the east towards you at speed.
Okay.
Mention that demons come from east.
Shall we head away? Or
Yeah, That's
Wait, they're within 60 feet and coming at us fast. I think we need to get our weapons out.
Yeah, I'm
Not
getting
very
my
far.
weapon out and
Yeah.
I'm taking a look. Is it visible?
Roll perception. Anyone can do it.
Did we take a long rest
Not yet.
before we left the castle?
No, you didn't.
Great.
That sucks.
Yeah.
16.
15.
Perception?
Modified 20.
I rolled really foolish.
16.
Okay.
Oh no, 16. Yay! Level up.
Are you eating your...
Can everyone roll stealth? If you wish to.
I'm doing that. I'm diving behind the whole crowd and letting them take the front.
I'm hiding behind Dain.
Cool.
23.
Zook, you see a gang of essentially tieflings coming from the east towards Nice Castle.
Huh.
Ah, okay. I'll relay that information. Tiefling's heading to the castle. That's not very good on my stealth. That's 9.
So you say everyone roll stealth.
Yeah, if you want. Well, if you want to, you can stand there if you want.
Yeah, 15.
Okay.
13 on stuff.
23.
Okay. This group is running at haste and in formation. There's 12 of them, 3 lines of 4. Through the ground. They see you, all of you, except for Spade. He somehow has vanished from sight. And they all stop and turn and all look, weapons drawn. And then look and turn back towards the castle. And turn back towards you.
Who goes there?
Men of North.
I draw myself up and look very imposing.
A lot of them relax and a few of them put their weapons away. We saw the beacon. Is everything okay?
Your lord has been killed. The demons have turned on us.
You lie.
I lie not.
I step forward and say, he does not lie, I was there.
They all look at each other and after a while tentatively all draw weapons.
Can I roll persuasion or?
Yeah, roll persuasion. Yeah. Or yeah, persuasion. Yeah.
I just asked them, what do you hope to achieve here now?
18.
Nice. So initially they respond to you. Our king, our leader. He promised to take the world with his hand. We would have watched from atop his temple as it all burned.
You would have.
Your lord is dead. Go home.
Go home to your wives, cradle your babies to your chests, take whatever you need from the castle.
They all turn to the castle and then look at each other.
Seriously, last in, last served. Like, go.
Like literally a bunch
Fight
of guys
each
just
other.
ran past us with all the good stuff. So you might want to make some haste.
Yeah, I want to get going.
There's a silence in the air as they sit for a couple of seconds. And then they all start pushing past each other and off towards the castle.
Cool.
A lone bird flies overhead towards the east.
Can we take a rest somewhere?
I got a 6 on that nature roll.
Oh, okay. They're birds! Weird creatures that can fly.
I let everybody know this.
I can fly in my
I sit there and contemplate the druidly wisdom you've just
Flap, flap!
Birdies go flat flat.
No, I think a reach was a great idea though.
So you're a couple of hours from Black Winter Forest.
Through Dana.
From Black Winter Castle.
Okay, cool.
The forest is...
Just come.
The bottom of the forest goes quite
is-
far south.
Is there anywhere around us that looks like a relatively good place to make camp?
How far are we from Ukas?
A day and a half from
Ukan.
Ukan?
Yeah, the city that was next to that got trashed.
Yeah,
There might be
Oh,
some
the
buildings.
city itself doesn't
You're
exist
about-
anymore. Like he built the castle on top of the ruins.
No, because we found the ruins I've burnt out, but there might be something I don't know.
yeah. So you guys are currently south of Ukan, across Red River,
Yeah.
where Stormforce was during the Iron War, is where Nice Castle essentially was.
Oh, okay.
Can I roll history to see
You
if
sure.
I know what happened to Stormforce?
Absolutely, you can. Anyone can do that if they want to.
Excellent. 19.
Not that you need to. Yeah, so Stormforce was an outpost of Lord Asa that went back and forth through Asa and Hyle during the Iron War. It was hard to keep because it was not greatly defended. It wasn't as well built as Black Winter Castle, which was built during the Age of the Dragons, 1100 years ago. And back then, there was a bit more, let's say, motivation to build strong castles because fucking dragons were flying around and messing stuff up. So Stormforce itself, difficult to hold, wasn't a great fortress, and after being passed back and forth for a long time when they were both slain, essentially it degenerated from a castle into an independent farming village, and then the farmers tilled the land till there was nothing left and departed. And Lord Nias Castle was built on what was once quite a vibrant, wonderful place.
So you say this used to be Stormforce. We found a tunnel that was handed to shelter and moved into
We did, didn't we?
this from.
Yeah.
Would you be able to find it again?
Did you leave the coin there?
Well, it was in the forest. We did leave the coin there, I think.
You did?
Have you got locate
I
object?
do.
Cool. I want to locate that object.
Yep.
Which was a shiny coin from
The
the
City of Temples.
City of Temples.
Yeah.
I definitely saw the coin because I made sure I did. So
Yeah. No, I made a point of making sure everybody saw it. Yeah.
Let me just double check the range on that spell.
Go.
We,
Yeah.
100 feet.
we put the coin in the trapdoor.
Just
The
underneath.
forest.
Yeah.
Which forest was that? Was that the Petrified Forest?
No.
No.
That was the Black Spire Forest.
Yes.
Black Spire
Black
Forest.
Spine, sorry, Black Spine Forest.
Is
Are
that
you
still
replacing
around?
Black Spine Forest?
So that's maybe 2 to 4 hours away. So Neverwinter Woods is here, and you guys down here, and it's about a couple hours to get to the bottom of Neverwinter Forest,
Oh, okay.
and Black Spine is more that way.
Should we head off?
If we want to rest, why don't you send a tweet to King Throman? We didn't know what happened.
Just Atwin.
Yeah.
On way, kill demon.
Yeah.
See you soon. Excellent,
FYI, people that are watching,
Thomas D.
people that are watching for the first time, Twitter is actually Shiver's bird that they send messages back and forth. The other game, Eyes of Elysia, they have the Whispering Stone, which essentially uses scrying or FaceTime to talk to us.
We've got the best one.
But if you do that when we have a rest, we might have some information by the time that we.
Yeah, I
So-
set that up and
So
sent it
do
off.
we think we were too far away to locate object to the thing?
At the moment, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
matter of like 300 feet.
Yeah,
It's several hours.
it's 1,000
Yeah.
feet. Okay, so
There you go.
Yeah.
But I mean, we could walk in the general direction.
Yeah.
Well, do we need to? The sun is just setting. Our direction is north. Why don't we travel for the extra 2 hours, get to the southernmost edge of Blackwinter Forest, and rest there for the night?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I like being in the tunnel that we can go check out that rift thing.
Well,
but
we're going to have to go in that direction anyway.
what, north?
That's the direction of the forest, yes?
Yeah.
No, that's Blackwinter Forest. We want to go
Blackwinter.
back Spire Forest.
But they're both kind of in the same direction.
So you've
to
got
Black Winter.
where you
Black
guys are,
Spire.
where Stormforce was. You've got the bottom of Blackwinter Forest there. Black Spine Forest is over this way, and Throman's Castle is up here.
So we're heading back to Throman.
So either way, we're going to have to travel north to some degree.
Yes, but Black Spire is further east, so you
Yeah.
detour a couple of hours that way.
Alright.
We might want to smash some more orbs because those are all parts of time that need us.
Well, I
Don't know
we
that they're
put
all-
those under investigation before we start throwing them around willy nilly.
We don't know what they all do.
Yes.
Yeah, have
Yeah.
any of us not talked to our orb yet?
I haven't attuned myself to mine.
As you guys have this conversation and remember, oh yes, the Druid artifacts, you notice that anyone that's carrying one, your orbs are all glowing.
Oh, pretty.
I'll touch mine while
Yeah.
standing a safe distance away from
Yeah.
everyone.
You hear what? Can you roll insight? As this shriek
Natural 20.
of some creature you immediately realise to be a dragon wormling echoes from the orb. And then silence.
I touch my orb.
Cool. God, that's just
Continue glowing.
While the party all touches their orbs.
I touched both my orbs.
You should show in your eye socket. Keep it safe in your eye socket.
It's
Yeah,
full at the moment. Plus, I've got this other eye that I'm also very interested in.
that other eye
putting
is
in my
still
socket.
spinning around.
Yeah.
So Gore, you weren't here last week. Once the party had defeated Lord Nyath, they took the 7 Druid artifact orbs from the wall, and each one of you is currently carrying one.
Who's got the 7th?
It was.
Uh,
Sorry, I thought there was a chaos one that got smashed. No.
There was 8. There was 8 in total.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Black one got smashed.
yeah, the chaos orc got smashed.
So who of us has got 2? I presume you.
Yeah.
So Arkyan, as you touch your orb, can you roll perception with disadvantage?
Nice. 18.
Wow.
17.
Okay, cool. As you touch the orb, the room around you kind of greys and shifts slightly, and you can see like the northern road to Blackwinter Forest, Blackwinter Castle, suddenly seems like it's kind of like jumbled up a little bit more, and you can actually see like further than you should be able to through the greyness of what's around you. You see a couple of riders come from the sky on these black winged beasts, and then you see Throman's head just cut clean off. You're back.
I think we might need to make some haste to Blackwinter Castle. I just had a vision of black-winged riders coming from the sky. Correct?
Yeah,
They were riding down out of like one-winged horses, or
with your roll, nightmare horses.
Nightmare horses.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh boy.
And then I saw Throman getting decapitated. Or I've never actually seen Throman, but I assume he was a king of something.
You definitely would have heard of Throman,
Yeah.
and probably what he looks like.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well, I can only imagine to be Throman getting decapitated.
He's not much of a king of anything. That's all right.
He's a cool guy. Have you seen that tweet yet? Because
Yeah, I've sent that.
Oh shit. I was going to say that sounds a bit more urgent.
Should we send another bird?
I think we've only got
We've
one.
only got the one.
Yeah.
Buddy spends 4 hours trying to catch a bird.
Oh well, let's just start walking as we're going. Can I touch mine?
I get a little rag and I polish mine.
I walk a bit away from the party and touch.
I'm so sorry, Mum, that this is the first episode you're watching.
Hi, Ollie's mum.
Hi, Mum. Love you. Cool. Yes, I imagine that you'd be carrying the Orb of the Unending Moon. Yes.
Oh yeah.
As you touch it, you feel it. DNA has not been discovered in this world, but essentially you feel the coating of your being come from your hands and be fed into the orb, and as it comes back, you have this weird aura around you glowing the same colour as the orb, and in fact your AC has temporarily increased by 1 point.
Ooh.
Well, for how long?
Until I say so.
Okay.
Until the
I'm
start
gonna
of the
hold
next-
you to that.
Yeah.
Until the start of the next battle.
And then immediately take it away. No, because you do know that the orb gifted to the Circle of the Unending Moon was the Orb of Protection.
Yeah.
Seemingly figuring out that you are part of the Unending Moon, it has blessed you with its light.
Can I save my one? Do I know which Druid circle this orb came from?
You can roll history with disadvantage.
The red one?
I'll check.
Druids were very secretive.
3 as well.
Okay. You don't have to roll with disadvantage because you're a druid.
12.
Oh no.
Great. 10.
Which colour do you have again?
Red.
Red. Cool.
Red.
Yeah. That would be the Orb of the Connected Wisdoms.
Cool. Are the connected wisdoms the dicks we met in that forest?
Nope. Those are the Blessed
No.
Children.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Connected Wisdoms are a druid order that are concerned mainly with information.
Oh, that's definitely super useful. I whisper to the orb and I say, most of the druids we've met have kind of been dicks in the past. Do you perhaps want to coat yourself to me instead?
Roll Persuasion. DC 6.
23.
Wow. Jesus, okay. I'm gonna have to check your dice. So, for a long time, nothing. And you stare at the orb. It glows slightly as you ask the question, and then seemingly nothing happens. And you go to put it away when you hear, hey. No one else can hear this, by the way. It's talking right into your mind.
In my mind I say, hey buddy,
Cool. What do you need?
what have you got?
Books.
You got the good stuff? Books.
I pull out my dream leaf.
And it just says one word to you. Underground.
Underground.
And then you hear nothing more.
I'm gonna touch mine. Gently and sensuous.
What colour do you have?
I have the yellow one, and last time it freaked out because I said holy blood and thing, and it's like, you told them the holy blood!
I remember.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I touch his hand.
They're coming now!
Who?
The demons!
From where?
From the end of the world.
East or west or south?
From where all lives spiral into oblivion.
Is the rift still open?
Yes.
Okay. I take out my finger and I pass it on. Rift is still there. I'm really nervous about leaving this behind us.
I don't think we have the power to deal with it ourselves.
There's a frickin' demon army, tiefling army on the way.
Okay.
We need to get help and come back.
The army will notice the palace being looted. And
I look at the
imagine
ground to
this
see if
thing.
I can see any books.
You find
Oh my god!
all the most
Magical
powerful artifacts in the
tomes.
world. Roll
Shiver, it's your
investigation.
diary.
Oh, actually?
Yeah, you can do this.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Look what you've done, Ollie.
Because
Look what
literally in
you've
my
done.
head, I was like, DC natural 20. Okay. So,
Well done, Ollie.
as you search the ground, you find yourself standing on a book.
Awesome. I pick up the book.
Everyone's weirded out, I'm sure.
Which languages do you speak?
Hey guys, check it out. I found a book.
I swear there was no book just there.
Common, Elvish, Infernal, Draconic, Primordial, and Celestial.
It's a lot of languages.
Yeah.
Okay. in Celestial, it is essentially not a map, but instructions on how to get to a place called the Death Dark Temple.
Cool. Do I know anything about the Death Dark Temple?
Roll history.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, sounds pleasant.
20.
Go.
Modify.
Fucking give me that dice. I'm rolling this thing, yeah. 9, 7,
You've broken it.
13. Okay.
Thank
So, Death Dark Temple was fabled to be the meeting place of the three great necromancers a couple of hundred years before the Iron War. These guys would meet during a period of solar, lunar, and universal alignment to speak of ancient magics and shape the world around them through their evil deeds.
Awesome.
Now you know where it is.
Cool. Alright guys, so this is apparently a guide to Death Dark Temple, which where a bunch of people, necromancers, used to come together and do all this cool stuff.
Let's not go there.
Let's totally go there and loot all their magical knowledge.
Is it underground?
Necromancers, you know, that specialise in bringing people back from the dead, they're probably still there.
You're the only one who knows.
Essentially, it says the door opens through a series of not underground but hidden levers.
Okay.
Still can't believe Nat 20 on that.
Can I want to bring up to the party the fact when I was talking with Ark when I was in the future away from the party, Ark was saying there's a big thing underground. We've had several things that have been underground. We need to start looking at this.
Yeah. Plus the book said, or the orb said beforehand, there's knowledge in books underground.
Can it tell you anything about how to get underground?
No, but this book tells me, I think.
Something about it?
This book
no,
like
this-
literally explain how to get there.
Yeah.
And what exactly to do.
Yeah, essentially there are very well hidden markings in trees and the like that tells you how to follow to get there. It also tells you where not to go in terms of traps.
But like whereabouts in the world.
Okay, so it's essentially east of Neverwinter Woods.
Okay, cool.
Quite central to central of the cast.
Yeah.
How modern is this book?
Not long. Small. The binding is leather, and it's going to just been engraved. The last few lines look almost like they're written in blood.
Does it look like human leather?
Sorry?
Does it look like human leather?
No, it looks more like gargoyle hide.
Oh, sick.
Creepy.
Are you going to be acquainted with human leather? If so, we need to know the backstory
If
to that.
this was made of it, then I would be now.
You just spent a lot of time enslaved to a demon lord.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
I want to be demon lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we gapping our way to north to save Thromin, or are we resting
Oh, I
and
want to find out what happens with my orb, sorry.
seeing what occurs?
Right.
Everyone's
Which
touching
colour orb do you
themselves.
have?
I have no idea.
Does anyone remember what colour orb Gorstag had?
Yellow, red.
I've got pink.
Okay.
Blue.
Green.
Okay.
Purple.
Right, so you would have the blue and white one, I believe.
Oh, what? Okay.
Can you roll?
I think that was my one.
Oh, okay.
If it had a like claw on it, yeah, that
Yeah,
was the
I had
scary
the
one I
creepy
gave you.
claw.
Yeah.
Right, okay, cool. So you'd have the dark green one.
Yeah.
Cool. Can you roll history with disadvantage?
Sure.
Is there a light green in the background?
Net one.
Okay. You don't want to roll again? Just
I'll see if I can get worse, should I?
Do worse.
No, I'll stick with the one. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we got
So you're not aware of which circle this belongs to, but you certainly can feel its arcane power.
Yeah, cool.
Sorry, completely mind blank.
So if it's not Pal, you just don't care where it's from.
Yeah.
Not pink.
Oh yes, yes. As you touch the orb, you seemingly nothing changes, but you do feel as if there's been some kind of surge of arcane energy. As you turn and look, everything looks the same except you can see tiny pinpricks of light quite far into the east. And as you kind of focus, you just see these little like blinking bits of starlight. And you wonder if there's some kind of metal surface that's reflecting this. But as you focus more, these little lights kind of get a little bit taller, and you can see that people. You can hear what they're saying. Do you speak Elven?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. So essentially, you are overhearing a conversation from a group that calls themselves the Blessed Wood Elves, one of the Seven Circles. And and you hear them discussing their movement strategies. Essentially in Elven they say, there's about 3 of them, but we've never left our forests. Yes, but it's time. What of the world? How much must of it has changed since we last saw it? All the more reason to go. Very well. and then the lights kind of blink off.
Are we all done touching ourselves?
Are the orbs not glowing anymore?
No, now that you've touched them, as soon as you do, they go back to being beautiful, but seemingly normal orbs.
So yeah, might tell me the rift is open and demons are coming. Anybody else get interesting stuff out of there?
I didn't touch myself.
Maybe you should. I can help.
I'll wait till everyone goes to sleep and then I'll...
I'll just put on some Barry White.
You mentioned a little while past you might have a way of identifying some of the things we have on us.
I do need a focusing lens, which is a rather expensive pearl.
How much is it?
Depending on the market, you'd be looking at about 90, 100 gold.
I'm sure fake
Do you
cover
need-
that.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, alright, cool. Cool. Because I'm a little bit worried about this spinning eye that we pulled out of the face of the undead king.
Oh,
We've still got it on us. It's still spinning around and looking at things. Do we want to go and talk to kings and lords and stuff while we have this obviously probably quite evil item on us?
Put it in the sack.
Put it in a bag.
Yeah. To be fair, King Throman is pretty easily influenced so far.
Yeah.
Let's just not tell him about it and just keep it in a bag and
Yeah.
maybe lock it up at night.
That sounds good.
The eye has not stopped just swiveling and rotating.
Can I try and roll an Arcana check on it or something?
Yeah,
like
sure.
that? Like, is it obviously necromantic magic or? Oh, no one.
You don't know.
Eye magic.
Yeah.
Huh, that's a weird eye.
Yeah.
Did I notice it being evil when I divine sensed earlier?
Not evil. Like there's some traces of ill will, and certainly the power of it is used for a dark purpose as of recently.
Right.
You also get a feeling that this eye did not belong to the Everdead King. It was not his eye.
Oh, right.
I take out my stone eye and I pop it in.
It's
I knew you were going to do this as well. So
Yeah, I knew you know how to do this. Alright, so as you guys see, you see the stone orb in my eye actually seems to kind of float out. Just kind of slightly hover around me.
Yeah, gross.
yeah, this swiveling eye actually gets kind of quivering with excitement as it gets closer to your eye
Oh
socket.
god.
And as you put it in, you just feel like little sea anemones or tentacles come from the eye and just glue the eye to the inside of your eye socket, and you feel this one tentacle-like thing just like reach into your brain, and as it kind of like splits off into all these tiny little tendrils, you just feel it weave through your consciousness and kind of take your mind a little bit, and there's just like now this pulsing as it it's pumping something through your system, and you can feel like your veins kind of go icy cold as this thing just you notice that your vision has like now two overlays. There's what you're looking at with your right eye, and then there's just this constant stream overlaid on that, and this eye that's just like swiveling around and swiveling around. Eventually the eye kind of goes and just fixes on this point over Throman's castle towards the north, and you can now see this dragon wormling just like sail over the walls, and then the eye comes back and it starts going like this again, and you see way far in the east, you see the face of this young adult red dragon on these stone steps, just like dying and disintegrating and turning into like silver fire that just kind of destroys, and you just hear the echoing words. Do you speak Draconic?
Yeah.
You hear the echoing words of Draconic, "Thank you," and then that comes back, and your eye is now just, and then it fixes on Gorstag, and it doesn't move from there.
So we'll
I
be
move
standing
my
there.
head to see if the eye stays
It
fixed
does.
on it.
You've now got what you're looking at with your right eye in Gorstag.
Now, I don't want to say that was a terrible idea, but what the fuck?
You were saying it was too risky to bring it around.
I had a moment of
Can you remove it?
stupidness.
No.
If you put the eye patch over, can you still see?
Yep.
Well,
Wow.
can I? Hey Gorstag, can you stand behind someone?
Yeah, alright, I'll go and stand behind
Oh
him.
god!
Can I
That
see
one, yeah.
through that person and see Gorstag?
Essentially, yes. It's a weird neural process to be able to know that this eye sees something in front of it, and this eye has the same image, but with almost like a clear vision through that person.
Shall we try and cure you of poison or disease?
Sorry?
Should I try curing you?
Well, the orb did just show me, or the eye showed me a vision of a dragon wormling attacking Blackwinter, and also of a red dragon dying somewhere far, far to the east and saying
Black Winter's in some.
So
trouble.
Blackwinter's in some fucking trouble.
Well,
As far as removing the eye is concerned,
You feel like you could pull it out.
Mhm.
But you'd also pull out the tendrils woven into your
Yeah.
neural cortex.
can I?
Do you want me to try cutting it out?
That's all right, thanks, Gorstag.
Just let me know.
Yeah, and
I am trained in
You've got a good
medicine.
base.
I've got my eye on you, so.
Holy shit.
5 experience points for that.
Cool, thank you. Can I try and draw some kind of magical power from it?
Sure.
And like try and focus and see if I can do something?
Roll Arcana.
While he's focusing on doing this, can I try and snag his other eye?
No.
Sure.
You
While
need
it's
to try.
rolling around.
16.
16.
Sleight of hand?
Yeah. Perception.
23.
DC 23.
7.
Nope. Okay. So, because one eye is fixed on Gorstag and the other eye is trying to compute, you don't notice Fate as she just kind of...
Was your magical card?
Yeah, fully linked to it, which is why we had some rules with the eye about other people touching it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You cannot take it.
Ah!
Sorry.
you can
I-
try.
Well, I try.
Yeah.
What, do I hang it up in the air or something? And
As your eye closes around it, it vanishes and reappears next to me.
Yeah. Sorry, I'd forgotten about that thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because that's like my sorcerer's order.
It's been like 8
Somebody
seconds.
takes it and just throws it in the sea. If I'm the
Yeah, hey,
thing.
I'm a fighter now, guys.
As for trying to channel arcane power, you try and give it an instruction. You try and say, "Can someone answer the door, please?" I have no idea who that is. Yeah, you try and channel its power and try and control it, and essentially you tell it, "Move off, Gorstag. I want to see other things." And that's when you hear its voice whisper in your head, and it just says, "We have to kill him."
I draw out my dagger of vampire touch.
I don't actually.
Why?
This is 2 on it.
Oh god, someone's at the wrong house. Do 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 do.
You want to see what's going on
Anywho,
at the
sorry,
table?
we got interrupted by life. That's all good. Yes. So the eye whispers to you, "We must kill him."
You need to roll a type.
Sorry.
I just say out loud, why?
Why what?
Because you were just talking about how it was a bad idea to bring it in front of me. Oh, you idiot!
Yeah.
Well, at least now we know that it probably is a bad idea to bring it in front of the throne.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's probably also a bad idea to put it in your brain.
I know, but
He wants to hurt you.
why?
I just told you why.
Yeah, it might have been a bad idea actually because it's telling me that I should kill Gorstag.
What have you done, Gorstag?
Apparently, he wants to kill me.
You assume it's me, not the evil eye. Sorry. Why does it want you to kill me?
Because it's telling me you're going to hurt me.
Well, emotionally, doing
Maybe you should like bless him, or maybe it's afraid of you.
All right.
Can you try and?
Pedal's not into ritual sacrifice or anything, is he?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, I'm not the highest ranking cleric. So
Right,
there could be
okay.
some deeper mysteries, but
Yeah,
not
yeah.
to my knowledge. But I swear by Paylord, I have no ill will towards you and have no intention of harming you.
He's lying.
I try and pull the eye out.
Okay. Roll strength.
I'll try neutralizing disease or poison on it while it's doing it. See if I can.
Okay. There's this horrible like sound as you kind of try to pull it out, and you just feel like little pinpricks, like a whole bunch of needles in your brain as the tendrils. And you can't get it past like a little bulge. As for cure disease and poison, it's not poison or disease.
Yeah.
I have. Oh no, you first.
Create and destroy water. Can I try and destroy the water inside the eye and get it to shrivel?
Sure.
That's a great way to destroy a brain.
Yeah. Can you
Just
It's not a
like
brain,
that.
it's just an eye.
Yeah, but.
Yeah.
What's the area of
the-
effect on that? Hey,
Yeah.
you don't want to overshoot
Yeah,
it.
How specific can
I
you make
veto
it?
Yeah,
that. straight.
This is what I'm trying to ascertain here.
Right.
Section 2 brain surgery.
Does anyone have the sleep spell? I think you do. Does anyone else?
I do not.
I can
I got
paralyze
it.
him pretty easily.
I can clobber him.
Yeah, I think if we put you to sleep, or probably clobbering you is better, we do have medically trained professionals among us and magical healing. We can probably extract it safely.
How about we find a place to rest, and we see what happens during the meantime?
I really
And
don't want to
perhaps
sleep with
then-
that thing around. We've
Yeah.
gone through that with possess people.
But we've had it
sleeping and
on us
shit
before.
happens.
What about if you just like spit some blood at me or something? We'll see what happens.
Blood in his
That's
eye.
the worst that could happen, actually.
Hepatitis.
Conjunctivitis.
Pink eye!
I think it won't help, and I'll do it. So I'll do it. I just cut my... I'm
Your
cutting a
fucking
finger
hand.
this time, not the wrist. The wrist needs some time to heal. So,
We wouldn't want to be ridiculous about it.
taking it easy this time, just a index finger blood, and I'll just wipe in there a little bit.
Cool. Yeah, there's a little bit of pain as the blood touches your eye.
That's
And-
probably normal.
And your eye says, hungry. And then you feel it like seep into the eye, the blood. Then you feel the tendrils in your brain like plump up and fatten, so it feels like there's a hand stuck right in the center of your brain, and the fingers start moving, and God, it hurts. Like you've never experienced pain like this before. It's the most burning, horrible, uncomfortable shift in matter that you've ever experienced. But after a while, it rips from your eye, and your eye falls to the ground, and blood just is now bleeding quite profusely and right down your face and into your mouth and
I
all
pop
over
the
you.
other eye back in.
I tell him to harden up and he gets 70 hit points to heal that eye.
Cool.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Oh my god, is there anything your blood can't do?
As
Cool. Well, that was unpleasant.
as you
but thank you.
scream in pain, luckily Shiver's words take the blood and you feel not normal but better than you were before.
So what's the guy doing there that's off the ground?
Spinning about a foot off the ground.
I'd like to
I
throw
I would
China.
highly recommend putting it in your face, guys. It's real fun.
I don't think it'll like that for me.
But,
I'll grab it and tuck it away because it can't seem to latch onto me most likely.
4 birds fly overhead towards the west.
What happens if, like, you're obviously still bleeding? Can you just like drip some on the eye while it's on the ground? See what happens.
It's already engorged enough.
Can I take some
west,
of-
not north?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I take some of the like the blood that's running down my face and like flick it at the eye and see what happens?
Yeah,
Does it grow and like seep it and?
spins a bit faster.
I think we should seriously consider killing this eye. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first thing it did was try to convince Arkyan to kill me. So
The No Life King tried to kill us, and he had reasons that I didn't agree with. But
yeah,
it could be that this eye is coming from some reasonable place. So I'm going to tuck it away and keep it safe.
I'm glad that you think that there's a likely possibility there's a reasonable reason something wants to kill me. So
I'm still convinced that you're the one with the holy blood, not him.
I don't think I've bled on anything in there.
But we'll see.
Yeah, there's always... we have so many good chances to bleed on things.
Yeah.
One
I
more-
didn't take them.
When did you guys all become vampires?
One
Like-
more...
Like a reverse vampire.
Yeah, vampires
Spraying
would
blood
love me.
everywhere.
I'm like, yeah, take this. So yeah, coming from the west, those
Going to the west.
going to the west.
coming from
So
the
everything's coming from the east and going west.
Yeah.
So
Army's coming, stuff is running before it.
I-
Question? Query?
Essential, yeah. I don't think anything's changed that plan. I think we still should head back to King Thorman and
I
see what's
think
happening
we
there.
should do it fast as we can, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. The sky's starting to lighten. It's now the early hours of the morning. If you guys are heading north, you guys head north.
Should we just keep travelling? Not rest? Yeah.
Do people desperately need a rest? Or?
Well, we can rest there.
Yeah.
But it's a day and a half well of exhaustion by the time we get there.
It's a day and a half.
It's.
Yeah.
It's a day and a half to the castle.
We'll survive.
Right.
Alright. So the party heads forth. North up the high roads towards Blackwinter Castle. Are you travelling on the high road or through Midwinter Woods?
High road, go quickly.
Hi, right.
Mhm.
Is
Go
it
quick.
faster?
Yeah, a couple hours more. Less.
Okay.
So, a lot of you guys are wearied and some of you injured. Trying to summon the Constitution to get down this very long road you guys have travelled many times. As you wander, eventually the light goes from dark black to a light purple to kind of like Dornish colours, reds and yellows, and eventually to blue. You guys wander for quite some time. Your feet start aching. Sometimes you actually almost feel yourself slipping out of consciousness and back. And there is a couple of carts that pass you, mostly just carrying crates and things. You see a couple of guys in black by the side of the road outside Neverwinter Forest, Blackwinter Forest, having a conversation.
You're all perception on them?
Yeah.
Or insight or whatever?
Section.
21?
Cool.
No, 20.
you don't recognise what they're wearing as being any specific king or anything like that. They don't seem hostile at all.
They seem dodgy.
Roll insight. Oh, what's your bonus?
+2.
No, not especially.
Cool.
Can I just casually ask them like the date just to see how long we've been away?
Yeah, sure. The date itself will mean nothing, but you've been away since Drummond sent you for 3-4 days.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty well.
They seem cheery, and they wave to you.
Yeah. How goes things at Blackwinter?
Ah, good. Just preparing for the festival.
Of.
The Everstar!
Oh yes.
Everyone roll history.
Like,
21.
Cool. Anyone do that?
11.
Cool. Zook. Festival of the Everstar is held once every 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
It is essentially a celebration that the belief is if these people gather and sing to the heavens, that Elysia will turn into one star, and that all the stars in the sky are in fact planets that have turned into starlight. And the Festival of the Everstar is the cry to the gods to take all of us to the celestial kingdoms for one brief shining moment where that star, a new star will be born and put into the sky and burn forever. It's essentially a time for festivities and ale and contests of archeries and fist fights. All the taverns and bakeries and things lower their prices. People get together, they sing, they dance. It's quite a wild time.
A festival of celestial communion. In other words, a big old piss up, I think, lad.
Not a few days. He looks at the sun. Maybe a day. Should be good. I hear they've got wine from every corner of Elysia.
This seems a bit quick given what just happened with, you know.
Best reason to have it.
Okay.
Yeah, you think if anyone's going to have stores like that, it'd be Thromin?
That's true. So he's obviously feeling, well, he must be feeling fairly secure at the moment.
It's the Festival of the Everstar. Every 50 years for the last 2,000.
Okay.
Haven't missed it once.
I'm reassured. Are you hitting
Not
yourselves?
For someone who's never missed it once, you're...
No, not personally.
Oh,
It means...
The city.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Are you hitting there yourself or off on another?
We're waiting for our friend, Arkyan. He said he'd meet us here.
Arkyan.
Arkyan.
That's a vaguely familiar name, but I can't say where. Are you expecting him to be long?
No.
Do you know where he's coming from? What direction?
Oh, from the east. He seems confused at why you're so...
A lot of things are coming from the east. I'd keep a real sharp eye out there.
Sure.
We've just travelled the road for many hours. Perhaps we could have provided you some information if we knew who it was.
Oh, of course. Oh, well, he's a member of the Order, obviously. They point at their black clothes.
Yeah, your black cloaks are very nice. What kind of order would that be?
And they both look at each other.
As you can see, I'm obviously not from around these parts.
Oh, of course! You've sailed for the festival.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Ah, the Dark Current we are. Yes. Oh, the fine procurers of food, meats, ales, and wines.
Oh, okay.
What of the Dark Current? Are you a mercantile society?
Well, we would be if our goddamn barrels and crates showed up with Arkyan. He's not the most, well, let's say not trustworthy, honourable man, but sometimes he tests his own supplies more than he should.
Even in the best of time, roads can be dangerous. He can't be travelling alone.
Oh, yes, of course.
He must be a very tough individual to trust with.
Oh, well, in some ways. We have a new trade route. Thromin has laid new paths through the forests.
Well, hopefully he turns up soon. I think we might see you there.
Hey, wonderful. And hey, let the light of the Everstar shine for all of you.
The long and possible.
And they go back to a conversation.
So the memory of Black Skull seems to have faded pretty quickly.
Moonskull.
Moonskull.
That's the one. I'm unsettled.
Faded very quickly. Yes.
Yeah, so quickly.
Who's Moonskull?
Wow.
So, Lord Moonskull was pretty much what the party was first tasked to investigate.
Okay, cool.
He was buying up cities and castles with immense wealth, taking over small, independently run marketplaces and replacing them all with his own brand of essentially child labour created steals and such.
Really charming person.
Sounds like a great business model.
We killed him not so long ago as well.
Yeah.
I just like that.
And then Thromin Ashback took back Blackwinter Castle after that.
Okay.
We never actually discovered the source of his wealth either, did we?
No.
We assumed it was Naya. We knew that he was working for Naya.
Yeah.
What? And we didn't loot the castle?
It was Thromin's castle. So I tried. This one
There was
kept
a
on
bit.
slapping
The,
me.
the
No,
chest
the other
attacked
one that we
back.
just did.
Oh, right. Fought
If
back.
you guys believed that this person was receiving his wealth from Naya, then why did we not check Naya's storerooms?
Because of the demon army.
But there was no demon army.
And the demon army was being summoned to arrive in
There
the
was
rift.
one.
And
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
like the demon army I first told you about, that was heading towards Blackwinter, never existed.
The,
All
no,
the demons that were in the castle were killed by the people there.
the alarm with the
Yeah.
tiefling
The
army.
beacon.
The beacon.
the beacon and the rift.
But we knew that most of the army was at the castle at the time, right?
No, there was ones that had been going on missions to find mages to bring back.
Okay.
Arkyan, my gold whoring friend, we have been walking for 3 days straight through the forest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to turn back now. We're so close to rest and fly.
Oh.
As you guys wander and get to a point, have you ever gotten really drunk, woken up on the other side of town, realised you have no bus money? And you have to just walk home hungover at 3 in the morning. Essentially, it's that feeling multiplied many, many times as you trudge and trot and stumble and pick yourselves up and wander some more covered in the mud of the high road. Eventually, you get to a point where you hear 2 voices carrying across the ground. No, you did not! I cannot believe that you and then they said, hello. Here for the festival.
Uh,
Here for the beds!
Yeah. Can you take us through to Thromin, please? I'm assuming they know who we are by now.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do it. You do it. I did it last time. That's a lie. I did it last time. I did it 2 times before that. Yes, and I paid you 50 gold to look
I
after
walk
my...
past the both of them.
Okay. They continue their argument as you guys enter Blackwater Castle. And I never got that sheep, is the last thing you... You now enter the marketplace of Blackwinter Castle, which is absolutely ablaze with lights and people and dancers and flowers and ales and wines and foods and... It's wonderful. The sounds and the songs lilt through the air, piercing the sky itself. It's now about 7, 8 in the morning. These guys have start and are turned up. People are getting drunk. There's there's ale being pressed into your hands, wine. People walking around with beautiful pies and breads and stuff, and it's all just free. You see some of these people look like they haven't slept in quite some time, and
Oh, we fit in.
yeah, essentially now you're in Blackwinter Forest Castle. You notice that there's been adornments of silver and gold flowers along all the walls and such. Thromin's precipice, the one that overlooks the marketplace, is adorned with great fine silks that kind of hang off with woven pictures of the stars and such. The place is ablaze. It's a noise. It's a marketplace of bustlingness. What are you guys doing?
I want to go straight to Thromin.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'll cast Prestidigitation on all of us, clean us up a bit from the trouble.
Cool.
oh, thank you.
Suddenly your new shirts and jackets all just kind of like, ooh. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. A few people notice this, and one person goes,
I do the same to him.
Make his puke smell like daisies.
to Thromin's castle you go, which is directly through the middle of the marketplace, and up to the gates of the Great Dwarven Empire, essentially. Blackwinter Forest. A castle. And inside, 20, maybe more, maidens in fair dresses, garlands in their hair, are now singing, playing notes and such. Thromin sits upon his throne, ale in each hand. It's Thromin. He sees you, drops him to the ground, leaps to his feet. You made it! And a light, who's this one?
Long story.
Yeah. You still hold the city!
Yes!
This one's okay!
What are you standing there for? Ale for my men. And a couple of the women disappear down corridors.
Thromin, we have had an adventuresome time and are fucking knackered. Can we go somewhere a bit more private and fill you in?
Bring the ale to the championships hall. And he leads you down a flight of stairs. Now you're in the room just beneath the castle, which is the Championship Hall. Essentially, it contains description of all the great kings and their deeds of Blackwinter Castle. You can now see Thromin, a new addition, a painting of Thromin standing over the body of Moonskull. Up in the air. And he sees you and kind of turns that one around. But he motions for you to sit down, and the women return with barrels of ale, and he looks at them and goes, "No, no!" And he goes, "The good stuff from the Shadowlands." Sorry, they disappear. And he winks. "So, you made your way back, acquired this one, and you're all alive with all your limbs. How wonderful." After a while, another barrel gets brought back, a black barrel, black. And he puts it on the table and starts pouring you all drinks.
We have some brilliant news and we have some terrifying news.
Wouldn't expect anything less.
We have news that we have no idea what it means. Could we get Sigmia down here as well?
Of course. Check the meditation pools. I think he might have fallen asleep. And one of the maidens disappears. Eventually comes back with Signa, very tired.
Cool. Sorry to summon you. You have sight and insight that we do not.
Yes, sometimes.
Can we just launch into the story and just tell them,
Cool.
the thing from start to finish?
Okay. So, Thromin, listening the edge of each of your words with thrilledness of a child being told his first ever bedtime or fairy tale story. He has to stop himself occasionally, like from jumping in. He downs 3 whole cups of ale while you tell us this story, and eventually at the end just sits back in his chair. "So the Scourge is defeated."
We've seen multiple. Well, Arkyan here has seen multiple times a few threats,
And you actually stepped in the times of the Great War.
I pull out Lord Nyath's or Lord Asa's cloak that I took from his body, the very original one.
That should be in the Royal Crypts. How? Oh, the castle. Fascinating.
It's proof if you ever needed it.
Would you mind? It's not as big as I thought it would be. I'll put it back. He puts it to the side.
So while there may be reason to rejoice, I am still afraid for your well-being.
Oh, and so you should. I've received word from the East. Apparently...
Is Lord Asa's body buried here?
The Royal Crypts contain Lord Asa's remains.
Wow. We want to
We
go burn
just
those
burned
later.
Lord Asa's remains at Nyath's castle.
One of them.
They were in the Royal Crypts.
Okay.
There was a man. The only thing I was able to discern was his name was Chase. Came through this town, asked a lot of questions, then vanished, along with the body of Asa.
We met him briefly in Duskin.
Ah.
You were saying from the east?
Oh, yes. Wonderful news. Apparently, there's a force amassing. There's a bounty on each of the heads of the royals for 100 platinum.
Wow.
The last couple of days, especially with the festival, it's been harder to weed out those potential assassins. My name appears on that list. Wonderful, is it not?
Well, perhaps, but who's put this bounty out?
They don't have a name for him. Not that I've heard.
So how theoretically would one claim this bounty?
It's good to see the last few days have not changed you, Horned One.
You need to know if it's a critical threat.
Yeah.
If you don't know who it is, how do you know they're going to pay
For the
out?
heads.
Do they want them taken somewhere, or have you
To a
heard?
place called Goldshield.
I size up the size of his neck.
Gold shield.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool.
That's your rival to the east. We've spoken of him before.
Was King Morton,
Yes.
who was slain.
Oh. Who is there now?
That remains up for debate. There's been very little information out of Goldshield the last couple of weeks. However, I brought you here to discuss matters. It seems you have fulfilled your charge, and thus have earned the royal reward.
Indeed, we have, yes.
Emotions, and a couple of people come forward and pour gold onto the table. Maybe 400. A pile of maybe 400, 500 gold. And King Thromin motions and they disappear once more. He says, I've been, let's say, acquiring some items. Either in case of your triumphant return, or the less triumphant return of your bodies. Who should I give these to? And he holds up 4 vials.
I'll go. I'm the herbalist.
You drop one and it shatters. And
That was the nerd toxin.
oh god!
Alright, where we go?
Throman, we do have one rather urgent piece of information we should give you as well, and I pull up the pink orb. Nyeth had 7 of these, well, 8 really, but the 8th was used against us.
The orb you described.
Yes. So we have these 7 that still persist. I would like to request that we take them to the Arcane Institute, and I can investigate them further.
Very well. Very well. The Institute itself has attracted great minds from all across Elysia. Upon hearing that such a wise and fair king was presenting the informations with generous bounty and reward,
Of course.
we've found quite a few clever arcane users. One thing the Institute does not possess is a leader. Zook, I trust you implicitly. Not so much for this one. Haven't met you before. Sorry. I assume you're trustworthy. I would love very much if you would remain here and lead the Institute.
I am very honoured, and I will have to think long on this and speak with my comrades. For the moment, I will stay here and I will investigate. I will talk to you before next dawn with my answer.
Very well. As for the rest of you, all of you in fact, I think you've earned a night in my castle. Of course, tomorrow, I have a surprise for you. Meet me here in the mornings. And please, and he pours some more ale from the black barrel, from the Shadowlands. Enjoy. When he goes,
Did we tell him about the nightmares coming down from the sky?
Yeah, I would have
falling
warned
off
him
his head and all
to
that
watch out
stuff.
for dragon. Well, we told him the whole story, which I
Yeah,
assumed
yeah,
included that.
How did he react to that kind of stuff?
he wasn't surprised. He was concerned at the fact that there were flying creatures, because
Okay, cool.
castles, that's generally their main weakness.
So stay inside. Dragons and nightmares are not going to be your.
I must leave the castle for the festival. Obviously, it's expected of me. But hey, what's life without a little danger?
What kind of security measures would you have in place for when you make your public appearance? Is that something we could possibly aid you with?
Yeah, I can always use more swords on my side. You don't want to miss the festival. It's going to be the greatest.
We'll be there.
Excellent. If you'll excuse me, I must attend to a few other things for tomorrow's celebrations. Try the pork pie. It's rather nice. And he leaves.
Guaranteed pork?
It's very nice. Okay, you guys are now in Black Winter Castle.
I want to introduce myself to his advisor, the magical one,
Cool, Signa.
Signa.
Yeah. Signa, was Signa a female or a male?
Sigma was a
Both
female.
female. Right.
She was a female.
Changes.
Changes, right.
Well, I'm just to put it out. I'm just going to take the gold that he put down.
No, you're not. You're going to share it this time.
Nobody else has said anything. I'm just going to.
I have said it twice.
I'm holding it. All right, I'll give you 250.
No, it got put on the table.
There you go. Well, exactly. Nobody grabbed it. Somebody has to get it.
So it's 505 gold.
Would you like some gold?
I would like a 6th share of 505 gold. Thank you very much.
Right, while they're doing this, I want to start
Signa.
talking to her.
Yeah.
I introduced myself as Arkyan from the City of the Reigning Sun.
Oh,
And
I know
would
who
like
you
to
are.
take the platinum.
Ah,
And I
well,
would like
that's not
1/6.
creepy at all.
No.
Cool.
We'll
Why?
work out 1/6 of 500.
One of my tasks here was to scry and watch your progress. Throman wanted me to check in. I saw it.
Ah, okay. Not on me specifically, I hope.
Anyway.
Am I correct in assuming that you would be one of the foremost scholars on magical artifacts in the city?
Say so, yes. Yes. Been curious about when this would arrive.
Yes. Would you perhaps have... I do not think so. You may study it
Worth a
from a
shot.
distance.
Do you have any recollection of where this came from?
I remember going down into the ruins of an ancient temple and finding it deep underground there.
Yes.
I remember touching it and then awaking on the floor with it seared into my skull.
I'm sorry to say, you'll never be without it. This kind of binding magic, said to be created by the very force that binds the sun to the earth, the Lord of Elysia. Its magic is powerful, but can be evolved. The more you put into it, the more it will feed you.
Oh, interesting. Thank you very much.
So did you just say you found that in that Temple of the Book?
No, I found this in the past when I was searching for something to restore my sight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I essentially turned my life mission into restoring the sight in my left eye, and I found an artifact that could do that, not knowing exactly how or why.
Deep underground in a necromantic place.
Was it in that temple? It was.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Death Dark.
Death Dark.
Cool.
You now know how to get there.
So you've already been there.
Apparently.
You remember how to get back there?
I don't think I need to. I have an exact map of where we need to go.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
So, you guys do
You
hear...
write the book.
It's your neck thing.
Yeah.
So you guys are here outside. The festivities you thought were in full swing are now in full swing. And full swing is a few swings higher than the swing that you saw it on before. As people are dancing in circles, and there are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different bards that are all kind of like playing together, but also trying to like compete in the sense of trying to get the most gold from the onlookers. Gold is passed around a lot. Ale is passed around a lot. And the songs raise into the night. Complete a long rest if you wish in the castle.
Yep.
Excellent. Regain spell slots and hit points.
I'd go check out one of those fighting tournaments.
Excellent. So King of the Ring is back in full swing.
Oh, did we want to go see what the surprise is first? Because he's
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
sure.
And then we can go get in a fist fight after.
Just for story purposes, I want to spend my rest with Sutra. Go to her
Nice.
place and there you go.
Nice.
I want to attune myself to the stone. I want to learn if there's anything more about it and
Cool.
anything else that can be used for,
The Druid Circle.
the Druid
Right.
stone.
So,
The MacGuffin.
yes. Essentially you feel you can... your AC bonus is faded. But you feel with this, you can regenerate it.
Okay.
Every so often, but not indefinitely. You
Alright.
also kind of get attuned to what its one-time use is. And it's to create a barrier, an impenetrable barrier, that it does not reveal to you at what point you'll need, but certainly that is what it's been designed for.
Okay.
Anyway, as you guys... Yeah?
I was just going to say, I would like to ask gentlemen, lady, may I, and fashionable genders, may I take the orb from each of you to the Institute, where I can study it. Yours, if you wish to keep it, it is your druidic property, I understand, but the others, we don't know what they do. They need to be investigated properly.
I would be happy to bring it with you to study, but I don't want to keep them all in one place.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Okay, that's a wise decision. We can separate them, but I think in that arcane tower is the safest place for them at this point.
Okay.
Leaving the front gates to Throner's Castle, you can now see the Institute of Zook. Essentially, it's a crooked tower that bends in this like spiral upwards, leading to a great plinth. And the wall, the walls itself have beautiful adornments of gold that look like hands made of flowers, almost carrying like the staircase up to this place, and hanging from the top of these beautiful glowing orbs that are full with, you assume, some kind of firefly or something like that at night just look absolutely resplendent. The place itself is peering through the doors, which are made of very light wood. You'd expect there to be heavier doors, but immediately you feel the arcane kind of protection on this place. It's been placed to keep unworthies out. However, as you approach, it just immediately opens.
This is a magnificent direction.
Touch my orb? No. So,
Is the Institute quite famous?
sorry? It's new. It's brand new.
Oh,
Brand new.
Yeah, you haven't met your workers, have you? So you
No,
haven't
I
vetted
haven't.
them, and you already want to lead powerful arcane artifacts with these seekers of forbidden knowledge.
Well, he's leaving one with me, so...
I just have a tad bit of
Yeah.
suspicion towards these.
With I think I'm going to use this line, a stolen line, for the second time. Once in this game, once in the other. It's bigger on the inside. As you walk inside, there's some kind of enchantment that allows more room to be within the walls than should be. There are books that are being carried. You can see the younger apprentices of the temple, the ones who wish to study the arcane or essentially sign their lives over to study the knowledge and the mysteries of the world, are there, and they're kind of doing shit work, like putting the books up and all this kind of stuff. But man, the room is beautiful and full of books. There are like little areas of alchemy and stuff as well, and great transcriptions of histories of Olysia, but not just that, the corners of the arcane, some books that are impossibly old as well. Some wondrous things.
I run along the bookshelves with my hand along touching of the books, looking for a 200-year-old gnome like a small child,
Yeah.
and then run over to the alchemy labs and start pointing at things and talking to whoever's next to me, and then realizing that they're not actually interested.
I am actually super interested.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then.
Alchemy.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
You can find, at this point, a hobbled old dude comes over. You never see his eyes because they're always beneath the hood. But he comes up. It's you. Heard of you. Where are you?
I'm over here.
Hello.
Over here.
Well, I've been summoned from the floating city of Andor, all this way. My home now. This place.
Welcome.
Thank you.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Faz. Faz.
Faz.
Faz.
Faz? Faz?
Faz.
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 My parents were rather eccentric.
I see.
I've been tasked to oversee the information I see. And he takes the hood off, and his irises are like marble white, but not just like just white. There's like little intricacies of, little patterns in his eyes.
My word.
Some of the crafting regents that Throman has had acquired. Quite interesting. And he reaches up and pulls up this little vial about that big, full of this black, like almost like a shadow inside a thing.
I lean in close.
Yes. Dangerous thing. Far from the east. Far, far from the east.
What is it?
It's the essence of the 9 hells.
Yes, well, let's keep that under lock and key.
Of course. The other thing that Throman has spared no expense for. The protection of this institute. Most will not even see it's here.
Excellent.
This one. And it's a potion bottle, but it's an orb potion bottle. It's like a circular potion bottle from the broken world. They say substance transmuted from the death of a star, the energy created therein. We haven't quite figured out how to use it yet. Oh, in the books.
Can I loot the tower?
No.
If you touch anything, you throw it out of the top window.
Hey, Fate, you can't see it.
I'm too afraid, man.
Come with me, I'll show you the library. And you're
Okay.
like, is this not the library? Like pointing at the books? No. This is akin to magazines in a doctor's waiting room. I'll show you the library.
Oh boy.
And he leads you upstairs. After a while, the time at which you arranged to meet Throman comes by. And as you come back to the temple, you see Throman beaming, standing outside the gates of his castle. Ah! Good times. On time. Wonderful. If you'd follow me. And he sets off with his dwarven plod. And he leads you towards the back of Blacksteel. He leads you to the back wall, which is beautifully huge and black, as was built during the Age of Dragons. He looks around. And these gates open. You're now looking out off the coast of the Shimmering Sea, the Stainless Sea, sorry. And floating there, massive ship.
Ooh.
I said I would reward you if you did a good job. You slain both my enemies. Please. Yours.
Did he just give us an airship?
Not an airship.
Oh.
Do you intend to send us somewhere?
You see right through me, don't you? I do have a certain task I'd like to do today.
Lord.
Nothing in this world comes free.
What can we do for you now, my dear king?
Well, obviously, you're competent adventurers. The stories of your resplendent glory has echoed through the shadows of time. I'm sure that your names will live on far beyond when the sky turns to dust and the oceans run dry.
Indeed, and you...
Yeah, so what would you like, Tron?
I require you to gather information. There's been a rather large disturbance towards the Talon Isles. A small group of islands towards the west. There's been a resurgence of energy there. They say one of the few forgotten isles of Elysia, location of which has not quite been discovered till now. I need you to go there and bring back information. However, I imagine you might not get the warmest reception.
Why
The
is
natives
that?
of this island.
One then two. Let's just say the kin of those who live there do not really welcome those that aren't their kind.
No, okay.
What is their kind?
That was my question.
Dragonborn.
These isles. I've heard of isles deep in the sea that supposedly house a Goliath society as well. Would these be relatively near to those isles?
The Goliath Isles generally are from the Broken World, towards the east.
Different side of the planet. Cool. Right.
Is this a priority over whoever's calling for your assassination?
Well, we've only got so much time. Assassination would be a rather interesting way to go.
Well, it's a rather grim way of looking at it, I guess. But
So the thing's happening in the east, and you want to send us away to the west. Yes.
Yes. Well, I believe that the things in the east are linked to the things in the west.
Okay. And is Dragonborn? Do they have any connection with dragons and wormlings, or is it just a thing by name? I grew up in a small town. I don't know.
Right. The Talon Isles have been ablaze. The information coming through has been fast and loose. Many accounts that do not line up. But yes, there's been an awakening of draconic energy far to the east. The ripples of this have travelled all across Elysia. The Dragonborn, I think, fear the second age of dragons.
Fear. Would they not welcome it?
Well, Dragonborn are akin to the draconic nature of the world. Certainly they believe in fire and power, but also gold. The dragon themselves, should they return, which some believe they would shape the world in such a way that their intention to betray their own nature becomes somewhat prevalent in their societies. There's no telling what they'd do if dragons were to return. But the isles are ablaze.
So you say they're like gold. There's going to be plenty there, I assume.
Dragons, yes. I give you one day to think about it.
I find the timing very uncoincidental that I just had a vision of a dragon wormling sweeping down on your city, and you are now asking us to investigate isles full of dragonborn.
Yes. You know me. I don't put a lot of faith in tales that I hear in taverns. However, the same tale keeps coming back. It's been a dragon awakened. This could change the world.
Were you not briefly being chased by a dragon quite recently?
Mm-hmm. Very recently.
Although, was that in the future
So
that never happened?
But then that never happened.
I was with...
Yeah. You were with
You were with the Ark when that
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
That was in the future that never happened.
That was in the future, it never happened.
So do you
but that
still-
was still quite recently.
Do you still remember that?
Yes.
Well, presumably all of us remember the timeline that we have lived through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just forgot the guy that you were with.
So
Yeah. What guy I was with?
do you have any idea how far in the future from now that dragon appeared in this part of the world?
Couple of weeks. You know
A
that.
couple of weeks.
Hmm.
So not long. Can I also remind everybody that we have an open rift at the same time?
yes.
Right.
There's some Tieflings there, there's an open rift in Stormforce. You want to get that sorted, probably.
Wise words. I'll have a force to investigate.
We've taken back Duskin and Blackwinter.
Also, if Lord Nyath's castle is still standing and your forces find it empty with no demon rift, do you have any plans for that castle for yourself?
You hear a voice behind you. Don't worry. I'm sure with my help of my friends we'll be able to close the rift. And then, be the second castle of Thrummond.
Of course.
Might I advise that you consecrate the shit out of that ground once you get there as well.
Understand?
The Temple of
Sigma.
Palor and Duskin, maybe,
Able to help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Signa, send word to the Temple of Pelor and Duskin.
Duskin.
due to copyright reasons. Well, my friends, I meet you here in a day with your answer.
Very well.
Now, please,
Let's go get drunk.
enjoy the festival! And he pulls out a flask and throws it there.
Gorstag!
You actually notice as he pulls the flask, there's at least 4 other ones. Cool. So you guys find your way back to the marketplace, which is now full song and dance. There's like 7 circles of people just like holding hands and dancing around each other.
Dain, shall we go cheat at some contest where you punch people for fun?
Did you say cheat?
I mean win.
A fair contest is what I said.
Exactly, yes.
Cool. So the party heads themselves towards the King of the Ring tournament. You get to the place that has 2 doors, one for contestants and one for the audience, and the small gnomish figure at the front. Audience. Fighter, you wish to enter?
No, this one wishes to win.
Terribly sorry, young man. There is an age restriction.
Okay.
Father, can I?
So I'll enter.
Fantastic! And your name?
Oh, use a pseudonym.
Nyan.
Oh, yeah.
That's Dain backwards.
Yeah,
Bahamut.
Bahamut.
Bahamut the Conqueror. No, Bahamut the Destroyer. Bahamut the world. I'll think of something. Anyway, this way. Go! Hurry up! Go! He ushers you through a door. And
Good night, don't die.
to the rest of you,
I cast guidance on him.
the guy at the gate goes, no, arcane. I saw that. Yes.
That was Druidic. Wasn't arcane.
Says, as for the rest of you, please enter, join, hope your friend does well, and of course, if you want to gamble, there's more than one person willing to take a bet with you involved. Anyway, wouldn't know anything about that, of course. On you go. Dain, as you enter this room, it's musty, low-light kind of area, and mostly it's people punching stone walls and kind of like cracking their bones. A couple of them look up and clock you and essentially just check you out, check out your weapons and stuff, and then go back to training, kind of thing.
Not too fast.
There's 1 or 2 Goliaths
Oh.
hulking on their chairs. One of them's just doing push-ups on a single knuckle, just like. Yeah. There's also one dude who's probably about 400 years old and quite short with a very long beard, and he's doing nothing. He's sitting cross-legged in the corner.
I'll go bother him and
Seems like a good idea.
ask him.
Cool.
You
You
look like
approach.
one who's very experienced.
Very.
Have you trained in mountains, perhaps?
I'm a god, of course. I mean that figuratively.
Yeah. I'll just sit there and stare at him for a while.
Cool. You can see his heart. You can hear his heart beating from this distance, and he just doesn't move.
Cool. I'll just keep doing that until
Cool.
we're ready to start.
Cool. Eventually, the gnomes, as you guys make your way to the viewing areas, there's all these like stadium kind of seats that go up way too far. And on the other side, you've got the king's box where Thromin sits, a little bit uneasily, kind of trying to sit, motioning for more ale for people that aren't actually serving ale. He can't tell. He's just like, more ale? It's like, oh, thank you. You know, so, eventually, you guys wrestle your way down in between the things, and this figure walks into the King of the Ring and says, Welcome to King of the Ring! The crowd goes absolutely wild. All of you get ale spilled on you. Yes?
I want to go find someone to make a bet.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome. Okay. You immediately see this guy just like skulking around and just like lifting coins and putting them away and kind of which to win.
What's the competition?
Yeah, we haven't seen what the rest of them are like.
Oh. First round. Was it Bergen?
Barmet.
Barmet. Barmet, the Eternal Destroyer, versus Fierce, the Dragon Tail.
I'm gonna go with Barmet.
To
for
have
this
10 on
one.
Bahamut.
Yeah, I'll put 10 in. as
Cool.
well.
You've both got 10 gold on. Yeah, your friend.
I'm going to go with the 50
I put
for
5
that one.
gold on the other guy.
Cool.
50 and 5. Everyone write that down because I'm likely to.
I wrote it down.
Eventually, the guy in the center of the ring.
Welcome to the ring, the returning champion, Fierce, the Dragon Tail.
And this grate opens. And out come these 2 feet. And this Goliath, like, from under it, stands. and the crowd goes absolutely wild. And he pulls a skull, which looks a bit like a human skull, and just into dust and drops on the floor.
Damn it! The world, destroyer, greatest conqueror, fiercest force in all of Elysia! Ah!
And this thing walks out, and Dain just steps out into the ring. And that's where we're going to take a quick 10-minute break. And then we will be back with more Black Winter Nights. Thank you, Jesse. Do you know how to work the thing that shows us if anyone's followed?
That I do not.
Okay.
Yeah, we will find
We'll
out.
figure that out, and we'll say that when we come back. We'd just like to say thank you guys so much for everyone coming back. This is not the end. This is just a 10-minute break so I can make my coffee. Thank you guys so much for the 50 subscribers we've had on YouTube, which is just fantastic. We really do appreciate that kind of stuff. Game Mature, if you're watching, you're a legend. Remember, we've now got a Facebook page, the D20 Multiverse, and on Twitter at the D20verse. Don't forget to watch NPCs of Tal'Dorei. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Thank you guys very much. We'll just pause that and then coffee. which is just the top one, not the second one.
I think we're up.
Okay, I might check. Wait right there. Wait. Our producer Dave is away tonight doing other D20 multiverse stuff.
Hi, Dave.
Desktop audio. Yes, that's okay. That's good. All right. So can someone just grab their phone and jump on Twitch and make sure that that's working?
If it's not working, send a message.
Yeah. If it's not working, please send a message.
Maybe we
Our
should
producer
write
is not here. He's off doing stuff for the new podcast that's coming out on the D20 Multiverse, and also some stuff for Dragon Tavern, which is one of the shows on the D20 Multiverse where we talk about D&D. First thing, when we get back, we would love to give a huge shout out to our latest follower, Linard55. Hey dude, how's it going, man? Oh dude, I don't know who you are, but whoa,
You're the
welcome.
best of all the Linards.
Yeah, the rest of the show is dedicated entirely to you, because you're awesome, and you were even asking about donations. I think we only have PayPal for the moment, but if you just want to send us your credit card details and just a bit of paper that says the D20 Multiverse owns my soul, that's all we need. Because that's just that. Yeah, just your soul and credit card. No, but thank you very much. He said that, or she said that that was their Thursday night sorted. So we're very very happy to have you here with us. You're awesome. We love you. Brilliant. Anyway, where we left off, the party, well, especially Dain or Bahamut. Baphomet, if we're talking about ancient satanic religions, is in.
Holly, that's what's.
Oh, there's a time delay,
Ah, cool.
so I'll just keep that here and just check.
Yeah, I was just pulling that up.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes. Now I'm just watching the phone. So yes, we're back. Are we back? We might have to do the whole thing again. How's it going on that one?
I'm starting it.
Ah, okay. We just give us. It's like a 30-second delay, but it should have been. Was it a minute delay?
I thought it was a 10-second delay.
Image still not working. No, we're not back. They can hear us, but the image is not working. Okay,
Fascinating,
hold on.
guys. You got no idea.
Hold on. Oh, Dave, we can't do this, Dave. Okay.
Isn't he like just downstairs?
He's
No.
He's
Oh,
gone.
right, okay.
Okay.
Dave, come back. We miss you. What's his name on the
Okay.
Sunday game?
Is that? Oh God! Someone call Dave.
What's up?
I don't know how to get.
Lol, image still not working. Yeah.
Okay, we're trying to fix it.
No.
See, I don't know why.
Hard Dave goes, everything falls apart, pretty much.
Oh, it's Dave. Yeah, so for some reason that's not.
You're not wrong.
Why is it not going over that side where it should be? D&D camp? No, that's just me. Dave, help. What happened?
So, can anybody recite the schnick schnack? What is it? Schnick schnack.
Oh.
Jabberwocky.
That's it.
Yeah.
This
Why
was
is
really.
this
And the slavey toads. Toads.
No.
So are they saying this?
That's saying that screen, but
Try
it should be this one.
Just transition, not swap between.
Ah! Is that working?
There is a time delay, so maybe.
Okay. Everyone that's in the chat and watching, just chill. We're just gonna. I'll just tell you a story. Okay.
Everyone who's in the chat and listening.
You
You
are
are
back.
back.
Will it
Okay.
also be on the audio?
Yeah.
Woo!
And Dragonator is now also here. It's pretty cool. Okay, sweet. So, I was about to tell a story about the time I accidentally robbed a bakery, but we'll get into that another time. So, welcome back. Sorry about that.
Wait a minute. Sorry.
I can tell you after the stream. It's a great story. It's my favourite story. So, thank you. Welcome back. Sorry about that. We had technical difficulties. Dave, this is what happens when you leave. We're not capable of running this ourselves. But welcome. Sorry. I've had so much coffee. Okay. I'm purely running on caffeine right now. Linard55, the rest of the stream is dedicated to you because you're awesome and we love you. Anyway.
Sorry guys. We've got a play button. It did work.
What happens if we press play?
Oh well, so TSL, let me introduce the image still not on. Oh no, fuck it. I'm wrong. I'm all
So I think that was literally you just not playing the video.
Well, somebody else said it, which is why.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, anyway.
Are we back? We good?
Yeah.
Fiasco. If you wanna send us some money, maybe we can pay someone.
We'll get some people to know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. Dave usually is here. He plays Stefan in the other game, Eyes of Elysia. He's generally here doing stuff, but he has other NPCs of Teldori, Dragon Tavern, D20 Multiverse stuff that he's doing tonight. Anyway. the party finds themselves gambling in the King of the Ring, which is the fighting pits of Black Winter Castle Dain. You've just entered the arena. The arena is pretty much a 50-foot radius. It's not huge. Your opponent
It's huge.
is huge. He's a Goliath. He's entered the ring. He's essentially showing off to the crowd. However, the gnome in the centre of the ring, with his... You recognise it's actually not a microphone, but thaumaturgy.
Let's do battle! Come on!
And the whole crowd is just absolutely wild. You all get more ale spilled on you. The guy, however, is just walking up to the crowd. What are you doing?
Probably just charging head on.
Okay, roll to hit.
Alright.
Dun, 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 dun.
That'll be a 19.
That hits, roll damage. Okay, so this is, by the way, a bare knuckle match.
Yeah.
No weapons allowed.
Because I think the monks gave me some pointers, so I have probably only a D4. I'm
Yeah.
guessing.
Yeah. So,
So I'm gonna, really just speedball on his kneecaps.
okay.
Can I reach his kneecaps?
Yes, you can.
Brilliant.
So the guy that's now just facing the crowd, like stretching and flexing his muscles and stuff as the crowd around goes absolutely wild. Dain just beeline straight for him, goes to his knuckles, knees, punches and does
5 damage.
wow, nice. Poof, and he just you hear his leg just bend in a horrible way. And he turns to you. He's that's a sneak attack round, so roll initiative. Wow, he got a nat 1.
I got slightly better, so...
You're first up. All right, go for it.
Cool.
Poof, his leg kind of buckles in a horrible way as you punch his kneecap towards his other kneecap. He's now staring at you. What are you doing?
I'll, elbow his knee joint just
Okay.
to try and, knock him down.
Roll damage. Roll damage.
And that's a very poor. Yeah, that'll be a 9.
Okay, does not hit. As soon as he realizes the battle has begun, he kind of snaps into, showboating? No, time to kill. And
More quick than
he's-
expected from
he's going
life.
to, that is an 18 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
Cool. So, he...
Why? It's still armoured? Is
Sorry?
that
You're
okay?
armoured, he's not. He's actually not wearing a shirt at all.
Right.
He's just got natural kind of armour and a bit of leather pants going on as well. He does do, however, 4 points of damage as he just punches into you, just right in the chest, and he goes back to the crowd and starts like, and the crowd goes quite wild.
Yeah,
Alright.
that showboating's not going to be allowed.
It's a very small initiative order, so we're back to the top of the round.
Can I sneak over to Fate and ask if there's some way we can rile up the crowd for this one?
Ooh, nice.
Ooh,
yeah.
I could be a bit of a hype man. I've got some thaumaturgy going on.
Yeah,
Ring
yeah.
girl.
Yeah. I was thinking that before, but
That's not a terrible idea.
Round
I
1.
stripped that. No.
Seduce the crowd. The
Yeah.
entire crowd.
I'm down for this. Why don't we go slightly different things? Just start a bit of a chant.
Okay, I've
Something
got a couple
along-
of ideas as well. If you can
Yeah.
keep them distracted, let's say, I
Yeah,
have an idea.
So I've got intimidation, so I'm going to point right at the giant, look him in the eyes, complete steely determination, and say, I've killed much more fearsome beasts than you, and do the good old in the ground gesture.
Okay.
And roll intimidation with a very poor roll.
DC 9 against his roll.
Yeah, okay, I need to count this up very carefully then. I think I got just 10.
Okay, cool. So you step forward and I've killed more warriors than you, or some kind of voice. I don't know how to sound. You actually see him. Seemingly, he thought that his punch, once it connected, that would be the end of the fight. That's generally how he's used to these things going. If you're still standing, he kind of takes a few steps back and kind of considers, and then kind of puts his hands up. Is that your turn?
If I can, I'd like to punch him.
You can, yeah.
So, that's generally
Okay,
part of it.
roll to hit. So he's kind of like now, just watching you intently, fists in the air. Go for it.
Yeah. Let's see, I'll decide where I was aiming for based on the hit. Yeah, that's just a solid thigh punch, inner thigh, bit of a...
Okay.
Wouldn't normally do this, but I'm in a bit of a tight spot. That's 7 damage.
7 damage. All right. See, I should have paid attention to math class. All right. So, you actually hear a rib crack.
That's a very odd skeletal
Through his
structure in this guy with ribs in his thighs.
Sorry, you punch him in the thigh. I forgot. I got a lot of things on my plate. All right. Kind of bends down. At this point, he's going to try and trip you to the ground, obviously.
Yep.
You can't really trip someone to the sky, but that's a nat 20, so I imagine that hits.
Yeah.
Which means he will double his dice. 6, 7, 8 points of damage, and you're now prone.
Ouch.
As he kind of sweep kicks the back of your leg. But he
I
does
fall
it,
heavy in my plate.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
As he trips you, you just fall flat on your back against the ground.
Yep.
8 points of damage in total. And he goes back to showboating after that. He turns back to the crowd, and the crowd goes absolutely wild.
I turn to Fate. Whatever you're gonna do, now's the time.
Alright. I basically rip my top off because what the hell not? And I just start really.
Wherever she is,
Yeah.
I minor illusion giant arrows around her. So that
Nice. Nice.
Okay,
I
yeah.
like it.
I throw myself at the Goliath and ineffectually batter him, going, "Don't touch my man!" Until someone comes and removes me from the ring. Screaming as loud and heinously as I can while bouncing.
10 experience points.
Yes!
That's amazing.
Fun.
Wow.
See what you've done now.
So have you literally jumped from the crowd to him? Or
Yeah. You know how the grandma you always see like hitting with a purse, like don't hit my boy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much doing that.
Yeah. I would use my action to throw him away. Can I literally lift her above my head?
Yeah.
Is that athletics?
Sure, you can do that. Yeah. Strength, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Natural 1.
you dropped the lady.
Sorry.
Sorry.
The whole audience stands at the some of them cheering, some of them fearful. The gnome comes rushing out of a small door.
1 second!
A couple of other guys come and start pulling you away.
You brute! Don't hurt him!
Sorry, I can't deal with this. This is insane. Okay. Back to the fight. Fate gets dragged through the door. What were you doing when that was happening?
I'm just gonna see what happens next. And
Is that all you want, bud?
I didn't know you were gonna jump in there.
Got a diversion.
Oh my god. Fate
Okay.
gets dragged through a door by two guys, and the gnome follows.
Oh, actually,
the fight routine.
So the Goliath is just watching this?
Yeah,
is he?
he's
Pretty...
intently distracted.
Okay, while Fate is being dragged out, I'm going to very sneakily use Catapult, which is only somatic, so I just have to go like
yeah,
this,
Yeah, I remember.
and take someone's mug from their hand and throw it at the Goliath's head.
Okay.
Oh.
That'll be just dexterity.
He makes a dex
He
save
makes
for
a
the spell.
dex save. Okay.
It's
Don't
a
kill someone now.
He
13.
rolled a
Yeah.
2, so I imagine his
Nice.
modifier is not going to be more than 11.
3 die 8. Can I borrow you a die 8?
How many people have you murdered with this spell?
That's fucking ridiculous.
Oh boy, that's 13. 18.
18, alright. So, this mug of ale just goes sailing through the air at high speed, and the Goliath, who's just watching the half-naked chick who's just appeared from nowhere and started batting at him, he's just like intently going he falls down to the ground and goes, oh, and then picks up what's remaining in the mug and throws it to the side.
Yeah.
He's quite badly injured, but he's going to come at you, Dain. Well, I can't remember where we were.
I'll be pointing at the crowd and like shouting at it.
Okay.
Like, simmer down.
That's 15. 15 to hit?
Yeah, no.
No, it does not hit. Okay, so your turn. As he comes up, he's
If I have a shield, do I still have my shield on? Wait.
no, it's hand
No,
hand
actually it
combat.
is. No, I do have. That's just breastplate.
Yeah.
Your
so-
armor. Yeah.
It's just armor. So yeah, deflects off.
Cool. Okay. Swings and you just kind of nope. He's distracted. He's it's your turn. Go.
I'll get a bit cocky and try and push him over by way of just crunching in his knee, so that
Okay.
he falls to a knee.
Yeah. Go. Roll it.
So just like a, this would be more of like an athletics thing.
Okay.
Like I'm trying to knock him over, not actually punch him, not
Okay.
strike him.
Alright. Sweet. Yeah.
So he'd probably resist.
Yep.
I rolled a nat 20.
Okay. He rolled a nat 10.
Oh, very good.
So he hits the ground.
Yeah, so I'm just wrestling him at this point actually.
Cool.
Like,
Cool.
I don't know how that exactly
Grappling. Okay. So essentially, yeah, you make the grapple with that roll.
Yeah.
And you start bending his arm back painfully up in positions that the arm should not go, and eventually goes and bites through the pain. But you just push it a little further, bites through the pain a little further. Yield. And the crowd goes absolutely
Brilliant.
wild, except for the one guy who's missing a mug of ale, who's like quite pissed.
I hope his friends all think he threw it.
He's
They're
actually
going to start fighting the
he's
crowd or
getting
something.
pulled off
Yeah.
by some dudes. Okay, the crowd goes absolutely wild. Anyone that bet on Dain, you've now doubled your investment.
Yes!
Cool.
As the crowd goes wild, they introduce the next couple of fighters. Are you guys hanging around for the rest, or are you guys done here?
Is this literally Oblivion and I can go drink a pool of water and heal up?
No, it's not.
Cool.
Is there a toilet around here and a radiated toilet I can drink? No.
So, yes.
No, never mind.
Okay, so that is. What are you guys doing now? Enjoying the festival?
Given that there was a crowd, can I do a roll to see if I was able to? Thank you.
Go for it.
You said he's the champion from last time, right?
Yeah, he was.
Cool.
Oh no! I got 11
No.
for some sleight of hand.
Oh no, I rolled a 6. You get 5 gold.
Yay!
Dain, the gnome reappears, and as you can see your friends like cheering, and Zook just and Fate being have like a robe being put on. you get pulled from we entered from where the champions were to the other side of the ring, which is the championship hall kind of place. And you go inside, and there's like grapes and meats and stuff, and you can sit down with some of the other winners of the fighters. And one of Throman's, essentially the king's lead guard comes in. And essentially takes the names down of everyone in there and offers you, if you wish, a position within Throman's guard.
Yeah, I'm good.
The actual King of the Ring tournament was set up to find worthy people to fight for Throman. But you get at least fine ale and wine for your efforts. And the gnome comes up to you and says, "Knew it! I knew you would win! Never doubted it for a second." And someone taps him on the shoulder and he looks up and goes, hands him a patch of gold, puts it away and wanders off. You're eventually allowed to go about the kingdom as you wish. And what are you guys doing?
Hey Zook, this awesome new institute that you have. Do you reckon there's a pearl in there?
Probably.
Yeah. Cool. Do you think we could go make a little trip back there, because it is such an amazing tower and I just want to see it again?
What do you want?
And identify this unknown staff that I took off of Lord Nightfall.
Okay.
Oh, hey, while you're identifying things,
Yes.
hand out the key. The gold and silver key.
Oh.
I want to know where the fuck that comes from.
Cool.
Okay. Yep. I'll head back to the institute. You guys come
Cool.
along.
So, you guys make your way back to the Institute of Zook, essentially the Mages Guild, newly erected in Black Winter Castle. And they allow you in because you're with Zook, who is the namesake of this place and essentially runs the entire thing. You guys are led into a couple of rooms, through past the library and into, I've lost my slipper, a little place where essentially you can practice ritual casting. So you've got a couple of regions and stuff that you need for certain ritual casts, and it's got a little space in the middle where you can sit and meditate, kind of thing. And eventually Zook lays out the items that you guys have wanted to identify in front of them, and you pass into this trance-like state, and your ritual actually takes about half the time that you usually would take to cast, just because of the room and the energy of the place. You just start pointing through. So everyone name the things that are being identified. What does identified do? What's the actual?
I'll find it for you, but it basically tells you the effective magical enchantments on magical items.
Sweet. Okay. So the staff on Lord Nightfall.
Yes.
It does contain a disintegration spell. If you touch it, it'll disintegrate. Unless you cast Dispel Magic on it.
Okay.
Yeah. The staff itself carries with it a fog spell that you can use.
Cool.
So essentially the fog spell in the book, you can use that once a day using the staff.
Cool. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that tells you if it requires attunement, how many charges
It
it
requires
has, if there's a
attunement.
spell on it, stuff like that.
Yeah, and it requires attunement.
Alright, how many charges does it have? Or just one
One
slide?
day. Yeah.
So I had the magical scimitar from the castle,
Yes.
which I
focus.
and the gold and silver key.
Okay. So the sword itself also has the disintegrate spell upon it.
Yep.
And it needs dispel magic before you can touch it without it disintegrating.
Didn't they disintegrate?
No,
No,
that was the
another
short
one.
sword, which was from the druid thing.
The
It's
shadow
different.
ones. Yeah.
Flower base.
The sword itself contains within it 1d4 of cold damage added to any damage roll.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I would like to present my elven bow from Naya for consideration.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Cool. The bow itself is a masterwork weapon, +1 to attack and +1 to damage.
Yeah. And I also, from Naya himself, I happened to find these two stones around his body somehow.
Oh, I've got 2 of those as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What are they?
These are the stones that let off the rays of light, right?
Yeah.
No, these were. Oh, There were stones on the altar, but these were from Nyath himself. I took them from his body. I looted
Oh,
it
wait,
up.
were those the stones that we could use to imbue weapons with?
I don't know. It was in the heat of battle when that
Yeah.
demon was coming up. I grabbed him. He said 2 stones. That's why I want to know what they are.
Okay.
Yeah, directly from Nyath's body, 2 stones. Didn't seem to have any other description around them.
Cool. Yes, the stone I believe I have somewhere here.
Yeah, it was all a bit hectic to actually do anything further at the time.
Thank you. The other one itself.
Apparently I have a stone of instant shield. A stone that when thrown into the air turns instantly into a shield, reducing damage by half. Cast on reaction, 1 use only.
Ah.
Yes.
That's pretty useful.
So-
I did have one weapon I wanted to identify myself from
Okay.
Knight's Castle. This
Yep.
was a thing I took off the wall without touching. Was
Yeah.
the Dragon Bone Dagger.
Yes. So the Dragonbone Dagger is a very finely crafted weapon from the Shadowlands in the east. Essentially, oh wait, no, that's identify will not tell you where it's from and stuff. Will it? No. Cool. So forget that.
There might be wizards or such
Yeah.
with knowledge, though.
True. Yeah, in fact, the man who runs this place comes up and recognises the work of the dagger and mentions that it's from the Shadowlands, far in the east. There are a group of what were essentially travelling assassins who had settled somewhere in the Shadowlands and had turned their attention instead to making fine weapons and artifacts and such, and they kind of surface every couple of 100 years in trade hubs and that kind of thing. The enchantment itself is one when, if thrown, it will return to you.
Wow.
So a boomerang, essentially.
I turn to Fate and I say, I think you're best suited for this. You can have it.
So what was it, a dagger?
A Dragon Bone Dagger that returns to you when
Before you put it in his hands, is the disintegration spell on that
Yes.
as well?
Yes.
So if it's touched,
It disintegrates. You need to cast a
Unless we
spell.
dispel magic.
Yeah, we need to dispel all of these.
wear a glove while you hold it.
I always wear gloves. I have the gloves that you gave me.
We'll
I
need
look
to
around
dispel
it because one of the random mages walking around.
Yep.
I go, you there?
A small, thin teenager human type guy.
Older mage that looks
Okay.
like he knows things.
How long is his beard? Yeah.
Standing next to him is, maybe like 50, 60-year-old dude. Dark black hair, stern eyes, nice robe, wearing actual plate leg armour for some reason.
Would you, by any chance, know the dispel magic spell?
Yes!
Yes! Awesome. Well, we have just finished ridding the kingdom of quite an ill threat, which was probably going to attack you guys pretty soon.
Wonderful.
We did get some items, but we're actually unable to use them at the moment. Would you be able to dispel
Before you
magic?
finish the sentence, poof, this white flash of light just emanates from the items and poof, it shimmers and just shines.
I like
it. And he just goes, anything else?
I go to Zook and I say he needs a promotion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And he goes back somewhat smugly to the rest of his duties.
Oh, there you go.
I hand over the gold and silver key.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So, the key itself immediately has this strange hum, this arcane kind of essence within it. In fact, you realise that it's not cold to the touch as metal would be. In fact, it doesn't feel like it's made of metal at all. But it doesn't contain with it an enchantment. But from the spell, you do notice that there are at least 5 other keys that are needed as well for this to fulfill its purpose. You find that it's part of a set.
Yeah. Alright.
Are there any spell effects currently on it?
No. But the craft itself of this item is otherworldly.
Yeah. I
Sorry,
can
that,
research that further.
that dragon bone dagger that just returns when thrown. That was the only effect I need to write down. Cool. Okay.
Although because of its fine craftsmanship, it's actually a D6 instead of a D4 of damage.
Okay.
I believe we also looted them all.
Yes, from the Knight's Castle.
Did I retroactively loot something last week as well?
I think we looted a spare wizard.
We did. I did actually say we just grab what we can. So
Yeah.
there was extra weapons.
I did give you a dagger and I gave you a sword or something. I can't remember. Sorry.
Didn't we actually have all this platinum and
Oh, we do have that actually.
I do.
Yeah, true. Cool. Yes, the maul. The maul does pretty much the same thing, but with fire damage. 1d4 of fire damage.
Nice.
And again, the guy who cast Dispel Magic once more.
This time I ask for his name.
Cool. Ooh. Sorry, I'll announce it at the end. Yes, Dekai. No relation to George Dekai.
Jakai, I'll be ensuring you get a promotion.
You do notice that there are at least 2 of the apprentices just hanging around, peering over your shoulders, and very intently watching everything that you guys are doing. Fangirling hard.
I start doing real complicated magic stuff with my hands while
Yeah.
constantly casting different cantrips. Right? Just to make it look real confusing and slightly magical.
Yeah, they're like tapping each other on the shoulder, pushing past each other to watch you.
And then I look at them and I use my staff to cast fog around them.
Please don't do that inside.
There's just like this emanation of applause from somewhere within the crowd.
Awesome.
And then you hear poof as one of them walks into a wall.
You're the collateral of our chemical equipment.
The whole
All
place
stuff falling over.
explodes. Alicia is torn to shreds. The universe collapses. All of us. Anyway.
I'm not actually sure how to dispel the fog though.
Right.
Sorry.
It's a fog spell, so it'll be on the player's handbook.
It'll be
A
concentration.
gust of wind.
Cool.
We can just slap him.
It clears, and once again.
Good.
Anyway, it's nearly about time when you're supposed to meet again with Throman. You have about an hour until he wants your answer.
I'm gonna go find Captain,
Yes.
and we're gonna go out into one of the areas where everyone's gathering around. I'm
Yep.
gonna put down a cap, and I'm gonna start dancing with the wolf. I'm gonna
Nice,
do little
roll
tricks and
performance.
things. Okay.
So in the middle of the
I forgot we had a
marketplace.
wolf with us this whole time.
Yeah, Captain, man.
Green.
He's waiting for us.
15.
Nice. You, one of you goes, "Where's Shiver?" And then you see just like through the window of the mage hall, this is and this little wolf who's like on his hind legs doing this. The crowds that have gathered have stopped dancing and are now just all intently watching you throwing coins. You make at least 50 gold as they're just clapping wildly. These guys are drunk. They've been partying for days. It's like being a Burning Man in a suit made of like neon, you know, everyone's just so essentially you make 50 gold. The crowd applauds and goes wild, and the bards once again pick up the song once you're finished, and the place goes into an uproar of celebration.
Congratulate Captain. Give him food and that
He-
fuss over him.
He jumps and you licks your face and nuzzles and then follows.
Is it Robin in Black Winter or is he in Duskin?
You left him in Duskin.
Okay, cool. That's alright.
Well, no, you had sent him to the... Wait, I'm looking at the wrong map. That's the other game. Yeah, you'd sent him north to Neverwinter Woods to find the Red Claws and bring them back to Lord Knight's Castle in the past, and then it never happened. So, no, he's in Blackwinter Castle, yeah.
Cool. Good. I want to go visit him just because I like Robin.
Okay.
And I'd like to get some more ball bearings off him as well.
Okay.
And give him a cuddle.
So, you travel to where you remember Globin's house is, and of course, not noticing you in classic Globin fashion, he's instead scribbling over a table. You think I've had a lot of coffee? This guy is.
Robin, my friend!
The horn, wonderful, nice to see you. Hello.
What are you doing here, not in Zook's wonderful tower?
Oh, no, it's wonderful. It's beautiful. I love it. It's amazing. I actually helped with the architecture a little bit. Not really.
I can tell.
Well, kind of wanted to. But yes, it was lovely. It's a nice place. I'm moving my stuff there. They've got a room for me, a ticketing room, right down the basement. Yes, should be fast. I just have to gather all my things. I seem to have lost 1 or 2 pages. I'm not really sure where they've gone. Maybe pixies. I suspect pixies.
We're leaving very shortly. I was just hoping I'd grab some more ball bearings.
Ah, of course.
Before we go.
Throws your bag.
Thank you very much.
Fine. Yes, no worries. Kiss. Quick kiss. Yes. No. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. I go in there and I just get dirty with it. Wow. He's gorgeous. I love him.
Pick him up off the ground, his little legs kicking
Yeah.
in glee as you plant a kiss on his cheek and drop.
And I don't rob him this time. That's how much I like him.
Wow.
That must be a first, right?
I think it is.
That's literally the first person you've ever met in this game that you haven't.
I hugged him and haven't taken anything.
Wow.
And
Except for his innocence.
yeah, that's
Time experience.
and I tell Zook he needs like a high kind of bedroom, you know, like overseeing the city type thing. Unless he wants to be in the basement.
Top
which
floor
is fine.
penthouse.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
With
feels
a love
kind of
shape
this
bed.
jittery. Being around heights might not be too.
Well,
he
we'll
tends
talk
to
about
blow things up. I
Yeah.
think the basement is a safe place.
Yeah, I was thinking
Near the
that.
foundation.
Nice and close
of
to
the
the
castle.
foundation.
Yeah, exactly. You want to make sure the foundations go where
It is about 20 minutes until you've agreed to meet Thrawn. You still have not made a decision on what to do when you speak to him.
Has Twitter come back?
Yes.
Okay, because was there a response?
Well, he
what
says
was
Oh
the-
yeah, that's right. Okay, of course. I want to send Twitter away again to Duskin
Yeah.
and find out what's happened with the blue worm and the scales.
Right.
Oh,
Dralexia the Storm Serpent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. So you get a small message attached to Twitter. Is he the one you talk to, or does he carry messages?
Twitter just carries messages.
Cool. So you get a small scrawling that says crafting regents achieved.
Mhm.
Poison withdrawn.
Mhm.
Lots of gold made.
We could sail up there.
Mhm.
Well,
Get it on the-
it's north. West is.
I know, I'm just saying by boat would be a lot faster than walking, I'd imagine. It
Would
would
be.
stop off before we...
Also, were we supposed to go to Goldshield, or was that him just talking about stuff that had happened in Goldshield?
You're just talking about stuff. He wants you to go to the
The Isles.
Talon
Yeah.
Isles.
There was also the Petrified Forest in the south, but
Yeah.
there was just a Druid circle and I don't like them, so I'm happy
There's
with
also like,
Yeah, druids suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the circles have been dicks so far. So.
I
But
mean,
so, like we do have a
Circle
circle
lines.
Not you, Shiver, you're cool, but it's every
Yeah.
other droid.
I'm not in a circle right now. Mine's dead.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
It's alright. My boss tried to murder a baby.
Yeah, there we go.
To help you.
He did murder a baby. Yeah, he tried to do a second one.
He was very successful in it.
He was very successful at murdering a baby.
Yeah,
Where is he anyway?
Ark.
Yeah.
You haven't seen him in a couple of days.
Alright.
I myself am very curious as to the one like locational lead we've gotten from these druidic orbs, which told us to go to the necromancer temple.
Which is underneath us.
I need to look into those orbs further.
Yeah.
Where was the Necromancer temple?
Underneath us. It's underground.
No, I mean,
No,
like,
it's like east.
it's
How
like
far away from us is it? Like a day or?
A week or two.
Oh shit.
It's right in the centre of Recast.
Oh okay.
Oh, is it not underground? Is that a different place?
Well, it is underground. It's just 2
Oh,
weeks away.
okay, right.
It's not like the centre of the earth.
Well, I thought it was underneath the Neverwinter Forest because it's
There are
underground.
there are elements of it that are underground. The book you found tells you how to get there and how to open the door through a series of hidden levers.
But the book I found was not the book that the orb was talking about, right?
The Book of the God Daughter.
The orb told me to find
Right.
books of knowledge underground.
Right, no, different book.
Right. Well, it could be the book of the Goddaughter, seeing as that's the only other book we've heard of so far.
Book of Adam, there's been a few.
Oh, and Unending Book, yeah.
Did you guys find the Book of Adam?
No, but we found out what it was about. It was Salandria and all that kind of stuff. And then that kind of gave us the direction to Book of God Daughter and whatnot.
That's right. Yeah.
so do we want to take the boat and?
We may as well. It's a boat.
I mean,
Go meet Throman, yeah.
Yeah. Even if this task means we get to keep a boat, then that's pretty useful, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you get to visit your temple again, and
Yeah.
I get to visit your temple again. It's always very lucrative, yeah.
What was your girlfriend's name?
That's a good question.
Oh, you're
And,
the mayor of the
and
city.
girlfriend's a strong word.
She liked
She
you.
does like
yeah.
you. She's totally into you. Alyssa, I think.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
one.
that's it.
Alyssa over this year.
Yeah.
How far is it to sail to this dragon place?
Oh, to the Talon Isles?
Yes.
A couple of days.
Yeah, okay. That's
Alright.
And it'll be a relatively quick sail up to Duskin if we want to get it.
Oh, yeah, less than a day. Like, yeah, an hour maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow. We should go do that.
Have we ever heard of any pirate towns? Called Stonefolk.
Stop using your knowledge from the other game. So,
That was an awesome town.
yeah. Fuck yeah, it was. The party makes their way to where they met. Oh, I created it, but I'm not
It was pretty awesome,
Fucking
yeah.
awesome, yeah. So the party makes their way to where Throman had asked you to meet. And you find him staring out at the ocean. As the sun kind of glints over the horizon, and the sea is sparkling with the lights. The sky's like mostly blue, there's a couple of clouds like softly grazing across.
You know the only reason you can sail on there is because we killed that beast, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dralexia, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That nearly-
I'm telling this to Throman just to let him know how cool we are.
Oh, I heard
Yeah,
the
yeah,
stories.
yeah,
Near TPK, if I'm not mistaken.
Stop metagaming!
Well, I asked you to return and you did. Fantastic. 1, 2, and you're all here. How good. So, your answer?
We'll take the boat.
Take the boat.
Excellent. Thought you might. And he motions and says, "We will prepare the boat. It'll be ready in a few hours."
Are you giving us a crew to sail the boat? Or we...
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right.
I have some people appointed for that. Zook.
I have considered your question, and I want to say something. To the party, it has been an honor traveling with you, learning, being with you, all different types, identities, genders, dangers, all things I've learned about while traveling with you. But I'm an old man, and my ability to help these people does not rest in fighting sea serpents and looking underground for demons. I think I'm best here to establish the arcane and serve to protect Thromin and make sure that the city is informed and that we can be safe again. Thromin and you have given me a newfound trust in leadership. Leadership that I had lost all faith in during the Iron War. And I think the best way for me to assist and maintain that is by staying here. I want to thank you all, but I will bid you farewell. And Thromin, I will take you up on your proposition.
Excellent. And you will take your place at the height of the Mage's Tower. And we will take your council, and it will be your entity to control.
I will.
I'm thinking of ways to blow up the Mage's Tower so you can go travelling again.
I say, so you want us to die? The Drulexia would have taken us out if not for you.
Yeah, this is a good point. Like, you did take that thing down single-handed.
Just the same as the Overseer of the Mine.
When Drulexia was slain, I was not able to do anything without the healing powers of my companions. It was not me, it was our teamwork.
It is our teamwork, and you're
part of the
breaking
team.
Where I best serve is with my brain, and I can best serve from here. I will still be here. If you need help, I will be identifying items. I will be identifying these orbs. I will find ways to communicate. If you need any assistance, I will be here, and I will do everything I can to help you.
And Thromin says, "And we will look after your friend."
The orbs are coming. My orb is coming with me. I don't know about the rest of you. If you
My orb's coming with me.
want to continue
My orb's
studying
coming.
it, it's not.
At this point, Thromin actually says, "Fate,
Yes.
I'm afraid the orbs must be returned to the circles."
The demon-possessed circles that we've spent this whole time trying to avoid.
The circles that remain true to our cause.
Which ones are those?
So he says, the Blessed Wood Elves, the Connected Wisdoms,
The connected
The far-reaching
wisdoms
fate.
we've met, and they were demon possessed as all the rest. They're terrifying.
Yeah, I'm afraid we have to bleed on them before we
Yeah.
can return the orbs.
I will leave Zook in
How-
charge of their restoration.
I'm not gonna.
I disagree.
You have been corrupted often enough. I have been there and seen this.
I'm still here, though.
Do you want to
Thanks
travel
to Dain.
with an orb that speaks to you?
Yes.
I
that
do.
tells you to do things and explodes when you touch it?
That warns me
about-
of things coming for me. Absolutely.
How about the orbs of the Druid circles that he listed, we leave behind. The orbs of the circles that he did not list, we take with us. Because those are not the ones that are still loyal to our cause. That way we have 2 loads of orbs, not all of them together.
They are split up. I do like.
And they
being
are split up.
That sounds fair.
And perhaps when we return, we could leave the other orbs behind. And then if the Druids have not been reunited with their orbs, we'll take the ones that you have finished studying.
That will give me time to investigate these 4 in great depth.
I'll leave you some blood.
With, of course, Shiver's
That's
permission. as
actually a good
they probably
idea.
belong to him more than anyone.
They need to be understood. They need to be studied. Just not this one.
So the ship now comes into the harbours, and the plank is put across to the edge of Blackwinter.
So which colour orbs are we leaving behind?
I'll hand over mine over, which I believe is the Blessed Wood Elves.
Yep.
Orb,
They remain true to the cause.
And was mine connected with
which is the dark green one.
the red one?
So, yep.
Red one?
I've got. You're handing that over?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll write this down.
Yeah.
I've got the pink one.
So I've got the yellow one, you've got the creepy blue one.
Blue, white, yeah.
You've got the dark green one?
I thought I had the dark green one.
Yeah, yeah.
But apparently you
Oh,
had the
No,
dark
light
one.
green, dark green.
Light green.
Yeah.
Light
So
green one.
protect all the protection from the
You've
enemy.
got
No,
dark
light
green, black, pink.
Okay.
Or no, dark green,
green.
red.
Blessed Wood Elves.
Yeah,
one?
pink.
Yeah. Connected. No. Blessed Children, which you're not giving back because those ones you don't.
Traitor.
I had the yellow one.
Sorry. Yeah. Blessed Children. Fuck, this is so.
Oh, I'm missing children. Okay.
Yeah. And then the blue one with the orb thing was far-reaching faith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Faith.
Do I know this?
No.
Cool.
Shiver does.
Actually,
Throman turns to Zook and gives you a hearty handshake and reluctantly pulls out a small vial of liquid and hands it to you.
What is this, Throman?
Rum.
Oh, good. I pop it and
Yeah.
take a little swig.
It's the finest, smoothest rum you've ever tasted.
Wow. I think I quite needed that. Thank you. Oh, I almost forgot. And I turn to Fate and I say, I think you'll have good use for this. And I hand you the flame box amulet.
I thank you very much, but if I open this, well, I'm resistant to fire.
I have it.
Huh?
I have it.
Yeah. I was gonna say someone with mage hands. So
Just,
I don't know.
how about I trade this amazing gift for
the dagger.
the
Yes,
dagger? Yeah, done.
I'm down for that. Do you know what happens with this box?
I've heard of it. It'll be really fun experimenting, I think.
Experimenting is
On the
something
ship.
I highly encourage. What you need to remember while you adventure, I may not be there to guide you at every move, which I never had to do anyway. Just remember that everything is at your disposal. You have more tools than you think you have. You always have another way to solve something. Just remember that.
Be easier if you were there, but okay. Yeah.
Cool. I give him the dagger of vampiric drain or whatever it was.
Lacquering, yeah. So,
So on the hits, 3d6. If they fail a constitution roll or something, right?
Holy shit, 3d6.
Yeah, and then you regain half of that as HP.
And what's the Constitution DC?
your spell DC.
Oh, 13.
Yeah. The boat sails in, and you hear it ding, 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 as it kind of moors. The sun is now nearly noon in the sky, and it's calm oceans. Zook essentially bundles up his cloak and looks around once more at the party that he's travelled so far with.
We're going up like an hour to Duskin. Why don't you just come with us for the last little trip?
I think it'd be hard for me to step away if I came with you, even for that short leg.
Why don't you come with us for the last little trip?
Zook essentially packs his stuff and waves one last time.
I pull out a flask and I say, one last drink.
What is that?
I put it away and say, yeah.
Good try.
I tried, guys. I'm sorry.
As Zook wanders back towards the temple, from
Perhaps the last black sleep leaf.
Froman just nods as he walks and turns to the rest of you and says, "Fine, man. You'll be safe. Now, someone I must introduce you to." And on the ship steps forward this half-orc, shaved head with like a scar down his face. Your captain. Is there anything you'd like to say?
All right, maggots, you ready to start sailing?
Awesome.
Nice.
And I think that's where we're going to leave it off for tonight.
Awesome.
Unless you guys want to keep going.
What's the time?
It's like 9:15.
No, that's probably a good point.
Okay, awesome. Well, then I'll just do the quick announcement. Dragonator. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I would like to say thanks to our 2 new Twitch followers, Dragonator. Write it phonetically in the chat and we'll read it out next week. Dragonator. And of course, Linden55, you guys are absolute legends. Thanks for coming along with our journey tonight, and thanks for following us on Twitch, because we do 2 games a week, both set on the same continent, Ucast, although the party's about to leave Ucast. But still the same world, Elysia. There's Black Winter Nights, which is this game, and in a couple of days, Eyes of Elysia, which is the other game. Both set in the same world, and there's a bit of crossover, especially that's happened today. We would like to say very much thanks to Zook for joining us, and he will be looked after and safe within Throman's castle. And welcome to, what's his name?
Orthak.
Orthak, the half-orc captain of your guys' new ship. which you're welcome. I'd like to give Zook 50 experience points for that wonderful speech. Obviously to Orthag, Nick. Yep.
Level 1, right?
Level 1 commoner? Yeah.
he's beginning at the same level as the rest of you because level 4. Yeah, in terms of, I gave out a couple of XP points just for nice moments and stuff. And yeah, this episode will be up on YouTube in about 4 days on our channel, the D20 Multiverse, which go check out because we do other things there as well, including recapping and reviewing Critical Role each week, Dragon Taverns, some new podcasts coming up and all that kind of stuff. For myself, Oliver Dungeon Master, and my lovely players, the Blank Winter Knights, we thank you so much for coming on this journey with us from Wellington, New Zealand. Yeah, may the dice roll ever in your favour.
I like the thought of Zook and Robin in the tower together.